Hello everyone, I'm Brophy1322 and welcome to episode 55 of the Choking Hazard podcast without RDT once again. He's not here again, so we will remove his box from the screen and have a logo instead. So, I just need to introduce two of my co-hosts, Sugar-Free Nos over there.
Hello.
Joshua's down there.
Oh.
And MB Hammer in the background, in the booth. I'll remember that one of these days.
There you go. There you go.
In the
Hammer, pull that up.
background.
Have you seen that? Have you seen the time that one guy hit a moose with his car? Pull that up.
What?
That's
So
nobody watched. Nobody watched the show.
Okay. No, okay.
Boy.
I mean, RDT said that he wasn't going to be here. Or said that he might not be here, and then it turned out that he wasn't here. He actually said, I'll probably be there, and I'm going to show an image on the screen. I'm showing the image that you wanted me to tweet out, Nos.
Yeah.
Let me see. There we go. So,
I want you people to know that this guy was not man enough to tweet this out. He was not. I'm calling him out right here on the podcast. He was not man enough to tweet this.
I feel like it wasn't necessary to tweet that. I mean, I've shown it on the podcast to the relevant people.
I feel like that is an excuse.
I don't care how you feel.
The first rational thing you've said to me in a while.
I think I woke up on the wrong side of bed this morning. I've been in a weird mood all day.
You were a whingy boy during the Wreckfest. It has to be said.
I was. I don't know what's wrong with me
Whinging
today.
up a storm.
Very aggressive.
That's perfect podcast mood.
Yeah, I'll probably say things I'll regret, I'm sure.
That's my life every day.
Well, we might get famous. So we don't have anything to talk about today. I mean,
I've got a few things.
Yeah, I mean, we
I
can figure
just
something out.
I just remembered a thing as soon as you said what you said a second ago.
oh, okay. I mean, there were a few things that were written down on the document, but there isn't a main topic. I feel this month, like there sometimes is. So
we're just gonna shoot the shit.
we'll just just chill
It's
and
one of
chat.
those podcasts that nobody watches. Let's talk about. You want to talk about how the highlight clip of me saying dumb garbage got more views than the entirety of the last podcast? That's made me feel real good.
Oh, it
Made me
did,
feel real
didn't
good.
it?
It did.
No,
Yes, it did.
Yeah, the clip of you destroying our podcast got more views than the podcast itself.
Yeah. Sometimes that happens. Sometimes, people don't watch the content you pour your heart into,
Well, wasn't it the 3-year episode last month? 3-year anniversary.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
so this is the
already.
yeah.
It's been a month. It's been a month.
So
That's
this
a
is the
long
first
time.
episode of the the third year of fourth year of our existence. We might as well just chat garbage. I mean,
Did you turn alerts off?
yeah, I did.
Wow.
I know. I'm on point today. I've been on time for all the streams today. I've actually been, professional in terms of starting on time, turning off alerts, having everything right. Just my attitude has been sour.
10 out of 10 professionality, 0 out of 10 personality.
That's what today's been like, yeah.
Most content creators on this platform are devoid of personality anyway, so right in. Got him again.
Got him. So the thing that I put on the topic to talk about first, because the final episode of this just went up
It sure did.
today, a few hours ago, of the random all of them race.
That was such an awesome event, and what was your peak viewership for that stream?
2,900 and something or other.
Yeah,
It set the record.
3,000 people watching the server that I started. Yeah.
There it is.
That was awesome.
It set the new viewer record, 2,935. We were so
Damn.
close to 3,000. But I was very surprised, actually, because all of the DLC streams that I do for GTA, they've progressively got higher and higher set the record each time for new viewer count on Twitch. But this comes along and just, demolishes those.
I think you really underestimate the power of random all.
I think that's true. Actually,
it is truly. I believe it is stronger than Gfred. That is my belief.
Well, the viewer numbers would agree with that.
The viewer numbers, obviously, yes.
Not
if
just
you did
the viewer.
24-hour stream of Gfred, I'm sure you could break.
In terms of the YouTube views as well. Like people watch the random alls, maybe 30,000-40,000 on average views for a random all video. Gfred will get like 15,000 to 20,000. So, like that makes sense. It is more.
Man, this random all is so great. Like, it actually is good. Like, it's actually good. It's not just
actually good.
It is actually good.
Nos's seal of equality.
Absolutely.
It is actually good. I will give it my seal of approval, my quality. It's genuinely fun.
I think especially now that there's the different modes and you can have a random all where everybody ends up with the same cars. You can do random really bad cars or not so bad cars. Like the variety that is in with the random races as well just adds to it.
I think the game mode is excellent. The platform is garbage. That's why I refuse to play it anymore.
You mean
I can't with the lag. I can't with the lag. I can't do it anymore. I can't. I just can't.
I thought this was the part where you call all the admins.
No.
Just like everybody else does.
The work that the Project Homecoming staff do is incredible, but it's 5M. I can't do it with the lag. You can have like an Issy Sport sneezing next to a tank and the tank going flying off into the distance.
It's that Canadian server.
Meanwhile,
man.
somebody comes crashing into the back of the Issy Sport in a tank and stops dead. I can't do it. It's the collisions, man. They're just so off.
It is difficult
for everyone. It doesn't matter what location you are.
Yeah,
everyone has that problem.
I don't have too much lag when I play. To be quite honest, like it's genuinely not. It's no worse than GT Online. Let's use that as a frame of reference, which is already bad.
Isn't it just the same netcode?
I think so, yeah. But it's like server based too in a way. So
yeah, the problem is that it's the difference between P2P and server. So with GT Online, it's P2P, so you can the lag is less on GT Online, at least for me and other people who might be playing from Europe.
Yeah,
because they've got to connect to the Canadian server, and then that position of your car's got to then get sent back to Europe to whoever you're racing with.
Yeah.
Whereas GTA is just straight to the other person.
You get the odd one with the Australians where they have like
300 ping or whatever.
A tsunami of lag behind them that sucks up everything behind them. It's like,
there you go. Listen to Wayno.
It's like them driving a tornado. It's like, what is going on?
Yeah, but I mean, it is difficult, and especially during that race, it was quite noticeable, more so than normal, I guess. But I can kind of get around it enough to still get enjoyment from the races. They
you just can't take it too serious.
Yeah,
like that's the real secret.
A fussy old man. That's what it is.
Yeah,
too much
like if anyone, anyone who like complains about lag or bad driving in Random All, send in. Just take like they're gone. Like this is a race where you can actually end up in a tractor, and you're gonna complain because you got taken out by lag. Sin bin. Like you cannot take those races seriously, and if you do, you're doing yourself a disservice.
Yeah,
like it's you just gotta get on there. It's like, oh, I got a different car this lap. Wow. I wonder what I'll get next. That's the fun.
The beauty.
And it's really fun being able, because we have, how many laps do you do? Like 690 something?
630 laps.
Yeah, so 630. Well, let's say like 590 unique cars, because there's like 17 of each cop car. You got near 600 unique vehicles that all handle in a unique way. Most of them, at least.
Yeah.
It's a big thing. It's a big thing. So, and you get to see all those vehicles. It was really fun to watch and be there for. And I wish I could have participated, but
Yeah, I saw you in the chat in there, supporting it. That was a nice moment.
Yeah, I came in. I timed it just right too. I think I was at the end of the first video. I came in. I told you that I was proud of you.
Ah,
And I think
yeah.
that made it into the end of the
Right at the
video.
end of the first video. Okay.
Yeah.
I think Benno is right. If the end of that race wasn't in the middle of the night in Europe, it probably would have gone over 3,000 on the stream. People came back for the end, but at that point it was 8.5 hours later at 2:30 a.m. in the morning. So
Yeah, it's a wild achievement too. It's certainly the longest. It's the longest race you've ever done, isn't it?
oh yeah, I've never raced just for 8.5 hours straight. It's ridiculous. So yeah, I'm not made for those kind of endurance type stuff. Like I really struggled on the 24-hour stream around the 13-hour mark, and Vice City saved me. But yeah, it's nice to have done these achievements and be like, I did it. We don't need to do it again now.
I think I peaked at Random All when I won 2 Random All races back to back on one of Noss's streams back in the day. I was like, yep, it's done.
It's not getting better than that.
Anymore.
Yeah, that's pretty rare.
Not getting any better than that.
So yeah, it was the one thing that I wanted to ask you guys as a point of interest is there was 7 parts. Obviously, there was an 8.5 hour race, 630 laps. I separated it up: laps 1 to 100, 101 to 200, so on, and then the final video was the final 30 laps. Which one has received the most?
Please don't ask which one was your favourite, because I watched it live. I'm not going to sit and watch the bloody hour-long things all over again.
Which part got the most views? Which part got the least views?
The beginning got the most views.
Yeah,
Okay.
I would say the end gets the most views.
It must be the beginning, right? It has to be, surely.
And then,
Okay, so the most views was the first episode. Yeah.
Okay, and the third part got the least.
You're saying third? Okay.
Yeah, somewhere in the middle gets the least. Yeah, like 4th or something.
It was actually part 5.
Oh, I was close.
4, 5, and 6 together were the bottom 3, though.
Okay.
How many? What was the lowest number of views?
Well, I mean,
on one of them,
we might have to follow up on this like next month or something because the last one went up
the
today.
algorithm might just. It's time to go.
Yeah, I'm looking.
Part 5, number 1.
Yeah.
I'm looking now at the stats for the first 3 hours that each video went up, so I can give you the numbers of each video in the first 3 hours of that respective video being live. And part 1 had 11k views after 3 hours. Part 7, the final one, was second with 9k. So people want to watch the start and the end. I guess that makes sense. Part 2 was next with 8.5k. Then part 3 with 7. Part 6 after that was also 7. Part 4 was 6.9. And part 5 was 6.2. So definitely, the middle. But I kind of expected that part 6 would be the least. I figured it would be less and less and less and less until the final one. I was quite surprised that part 6 jumped up a little bit.
Yeah, it's like a curve, right? I guess.
Yeah.
But inverted, I suppose.
Inverted, with 5 being the lowest.
Yeah.
But there you go. So hopefully people enjoyed that.
You see, whenever I do really long things like that, I just slap it up in one part. Here's your 8-hour video. See you later.
I was actually considering that, like that was one of the options, but then I brought it up on a stream.
Yeah, no, you can't. I mean, and you won't run mid-roll ads, so you made the right decision.
Yeah, I don't do mid-rolls, so
you should have done a mid-roll ad after every lap.
630 mid-rolls.
What ad you gonna get next?
Why aren't you being an absolute scumbag and double dipping folk and just saying, "Oh, I'm going to put up the full version as well."
Yeah,
well.
You posted them all individually, then put up the full version.
With mid-roll ads.
Yeah.
To be fair, I did link the Twitch video, the Twitch VOD of it and direct people to there if they wanted to just watch it all the way through.
This is why you'll never be part of the 1%, bruv. Okay, this is why. this is why.
Because I'm not willing to exploit.
Exactly. You need to exploit these people for all they're worth, every dime. You just gotta take them like a washcloth and just.
You could have come in with a voiceover on the last video and gone, and if you want a real challenge, the whole video will be up tomorrow.
There's a 100-hour loop.
Oh, I can't bring myself to do that though. Like I did a race with the green and purple, taking like somewhat advantage of that whole green purple aliens thing, and we did purple moonbeams and green moonbeams in a little dual side by side race. And I was considering, I was jokingly saying to the chat, "Oh, I should go crazy with the title, all caps, green versus purple team race. You'll never guess who'll win," and and arrows in the thumbnail and stuff like that. But I couldn't bring myself to do it, even as a joke.
Why can't you? Because look, it's either. So here's what's gonna happen. Here's one of two things. You do something like that, okay? 1, morons watch it and give you ad revenue. That's great. 2, people see it as a joke and they're like, "Oh, that's funny," and you win again. And then people complain, and all you could say, "Oh, I'm just being self-aware. It's comedy. This is comedy. I'm being self-aware of the platform." And then it's fine.
It wasn't.
The thing is, if you did it in parts and then put up the whole thing, you could just say, "Well, I'm just giving you the choice. You can either watch it in parts or the whole sitting. Yeah. It's up to you."
So
I'm not forcing you to watch it all. Both,
See, you're all giving ideas to me that I just don't think about because I don't really, I'm not out for everything that I can get.
That's the problem. You're far too pure.
Do you need a financial consultant, Adam?
What could you be doing to extract more money?
But also not be a scum.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just because you have a mid-roll ad doesn't mean you're a scum. Man, I watched Hoovie's Garage. He's got like 50 mid-roll ads. I still love him. He's great.
He can't put mid-roll ads in. He's updated his channel thing, the channel video, the channel introduction video at the start, and says, "By the way, I've got no mid-rolls. I'm amazing."
Oh, really? Did you?
I don't exactly say I'm amazing. I just say you never experience a mid-roll ad on my videos.
I'm sorry, I was maybe watching it through rose-tinted glasses.
Not having mid-roll ads is insane. Like I thought, I get a lot of slack for like, "Oh, Josh, you need to clickbait harder." Oh, like I'm complaining about clickbait titles and stuff and thumbnails and crap. Even I have mid-roll ads. I just open the advert thing, type 1 hour, enter, 2 hour, enter, 3, and just fucking one every hour. That seems reasonable. I guess my video is a lot longer than yours.
Yeah, to be fair, if I was to upload that full race in its entirety, 8.5 hours long, I probably would have put mid-roll ads in.
Yeah, just one every hour.
But under normal circumstances, I don't, and I just don't like to. That's just how it is. I just don't like them. I watch YouTube.
Sorry.
What you should do is put it to a Twitter vote. Put it out on Twitter. Would you watch this if I put it up?
But the thing is, and this is what I was going to say earlier about like the reactions to the green versus purple aliens and stuff like that. Like, I'm not doing these things because of the reactions I'm going to get from people. I'm not putting mid-roll ads in because
you don't want to.
It's because I don't want them in. Yeah. When I'm watching YouTube videos, I get annoyed by mid-roll ads. I don't want that experience onto people who are watching.
I get annoyed by my favorite content creators not making a living wage. That's what annoys me. So if you got to put in some mid-roll ads, like, hook me up.
You see, I feel the same way as you about like the clickbait thumbnails and stuff. How everybody has to have a face in their thumbnail now.
Yeah,
it's like people got mad about red arrows. Yeah, like that. People no more red arrows. It's just a face pointing to the actual content of the video. But the difference between me and you is that I use ad block, so I guess I don't get annoyed about mid-roll.
I mean,
I just steal.
Well, I listen to and watch a lot of YouTube on my phone, so that's why it gets to me more.
I mean, only time I listen to YouTube is when I'm like asleep in bed, so don't care how many mid-roll ads there are. I'm asleep.
Yeah, I don't know. That's just how I am, and I don't know.
All right, okay. Here's what we do: all three of us make a stupid face, right? And that's the thumbnail for this video. See how many more views we get.
Yes,
Yeah.
this is a test. It's a test.
Just get YouTube Premium. YouTube. Have you seen how expensive YouTube Premium is? It's ridiculous.
getting
If it
no
was
premium.
$5 a
Much.
month or something, then maybe. But it's ridiculous.
How much?
It's like 20 quid, £15, something like that.
Really?
It's insane.
No.
I was genuinely considering getting it until I realised the price of it.
Hey, I'll be right back, by the way. I hate to do this. I'm going to step
What?
away for just a second. I'll be
I
right back.
love
Okay.
chat. What? What?
What?
What?
It's £12 a month.
£12 a month, yeah.
That must be
Still too
$15, I guess.
Still too much. Get away.
It's still
Get
too.
away
It's
with
way
your
too
YouTube.
much.
But you can save money with a family or student plan. If you're a student, you get £7 a month.
Yeah,
still have-
$15. Yeah,
I still have my student email. I could probably do that.
I have an
never
ad blocker
deactivate
on
it.
my phone, but it doesn't work on the YouTube app.
Yeah. So what you do is you get a Raspberry Pi, right? Install some software for it and route all of your traffic through it.
Yeah. Yeah, that £12 a month is way too, $15 a month for YouTube Premium just to not have some ads. No, thank you.
Yeah.
They were actually running a trial with
Yeah, I mean-
YouTube channel memberships where I think it's only in like 5 countries, and I don't know why it's just these 5 countries, but if you're a YouTube Premium member, you get a free channel membership to any channel that you choose. So you can, it's like Twitch Prime on Twitch. They're only doing it for this month. I would like to see that happen, just all the time for everything. That would kind of make it a little bit more worthwhile that you also get a $5 channel membership as part of that $15 to use on
problem
someone.
You can tell they didn't really believe in this concept because they've not exactly advertised the fact, have they?
Well,
They haven't. Yeah.
Into the feature list and playing videos in the background. So when you play a video and then you like minimize the app or lock your phone or something, that's a premium feature.
Yeah, I know.
Like, look, I've wanted that for years. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, when are they going to implement this? Twitch has it. It can
Yeah.
be done.
You have
This is a
to.
premium feature this whole time.
If
What
I'm
the
listening
hell?
if I'm listening to a YouTube video on my phone, I have to keep the phone on playing the
Yeah.
video. I can't just minimize it and listen to it.
Yeah, if I'm like walking somewhere or like going out or whatever, I just have to put my phone in my pocket really carefully.
Yeah, that's it. I've done that. Like if I've been walking around the house listening to a video, I have to put it in my pocket so that it doesn't touch anything, so that I'm not
Yeah.
gonna pause it or anything. Yeah, it's a
God.
premium feature to close YouTube and still be able to listen to a video.
I mean, the
They're
down,
geniuses, though, for locking that behind a paywall.
Yeah.
Absolute geniuses.
Yeah.
the downloading makes sense because that's like stress on their servers or whatever. But the backgrounds, like, why do
I
I
mean,
need to pay
the
for
worst thing is that like the original YouTube app on iPhones used to be able to do that. You used to be able to just minimize. I'm talking about the old YouTube app that was just baked in before there was an app store and everything. The old iPhones, iPhone 4, 3s, and stuff like that. You could do that. You could play a video. You could
Can't
just
use again.
minimize it, close the screen or whatever, and it would be fine. And then they were like, okay, we need to remove this app, make our own app, and then their own app obviously didn't have that functionality.
Oh, it's
Well, I mean, speaking of YouTube, can we maybe segue into? This is me trying to do a segue. Segue into YouTube losing possibly a large portion of their ad revenue, with Joe Rogan.
Oh, yes,
departing
let's talk
the
about that.
platform.
Joe Rogan is dead.
I don't know anything about this.
Joe Rogan is he's a stand-up comedian. He also commentates for the UFC, but he's also hailed as on YouTube being the godfather of podcasting on YouTube, bringing podcasting up and elevating it. Has millions and millions and millions of views. Has just signed an exclusivity deal with Spotify, of all
Wow,
people.
okay.
So
okay.
by the end of the year, all Joe Rogan content for podcasting will be on Spotify, including video. Spotify have started doing video podcasting now as well.
That's what they want him for.
Of
Okay.
course.
It's a
That's
shame.
interesting.
It's a real shame.
That's
Is
such
there?
a-
Is there really? What's wrong with Spotify?
Yeah, I mean, all of the
I just-
content, all of his content will be free regardless. You don't need, all you need is a Spotify account. So, I mean, it'll be ad supported, obviously, for the free stuff. So you're not missing anything out on the YouTube version. It's just on a different platform. That's all.
I mean, at least I can play Spotify in the background. Right?
yeah.
Yeah, well, I guess, but I don't listen to podcasts as like just audio format. Like I watch the videos on
Right.
YouTube.
Yeah,
like,
I prefer,
I'll watch the
a
whole
video podcast too.
Yeah.
See, I
'cause,
prefer
I mean,
audio, so
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
it wouldn't
same.
be a difference to me.
For some podcasts, audio is like Hello Internet is great, a great audio experience because
Yeah.
Gray's voice is just like liquid caramel in your ears.
yeah.
Level to level.
But yeah, for like stuff like Joe does, where his guests are super interesting people for the most part.
And Jamie's pulling stuff up all the time that you got to
yeah.
see. You know,
I mean,
like,
part of their reasoning for moving away from YouTube, I think, is they've been dinged quite a lot by YouTube copyright systems, just because videos that they've brought up that they've referenced have had music in the background, and they're just fed up with it. So.
Well,
I'm
that's
sure the
fair
$100
enough.
million helped
And-
too.
Yeah, according
Yeah.
to sources, the money that he's been given for this exclusivity deal is beyond ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean,
apparently.
that's the
It's
real
not,
reason.
It's not big. It's monumentally large.
Oh, that
amount
just
of
reminded
money.
me of another thing.
What is the rumors?
I've not heard a rumor on the figure. I've just heard it's yacht
Okay.
money.
Okay. Whatever you're
Easy-
thinking, it's
easy-
probably more.
Easy yacht and several houses money.
Right. The thing is, this is the way that things are they're going now. Obviously, like originally we had Netflix starting the whole streaming thing, and then other companies have slowly started to come up, and now there's a bit more competition. Exclusivity is becoming a thing. It's just like
I
video
don't
game
see there
consoles,
being-
but with online medium.
I don't see there being more competition in the podcasting market as being a bad thing at all, because podcasting is difficult on YouTube with all the copyright shenanigans and whatnot when you're wanting to
Yeah.
discuss a
I mean, yeah,
specific
YouTube's
thing.
terrible platform. Let's get that out. I mean, YouTube is a terrible platform now.
Yeah.
So now they've got a
Stuff
bit
like
of
that.
competition. They might start looking
Not a
at
chance.
no.
Not a chance.
Shall we?
The thing is, Google already have like Google Podcasts. I think we're actually on Google Podcasts now. They weren't available for the UK.
I was going
so-
to say they do.
Yeah, there is a thing, and it was only available in the US for a long time, and then I realized that I can actually put my podcast on Google Podcasts now, can I? Oh, thank you, Google, for opening it up to the rest of the world. But whether anybody listens via that, I don't know.
Okay, I have a thing. Speaking of other platforms for buying people. That was terrible.
Yes, buying people. It
yeah,
goes
yeah.
well back in my bloodline.
So have you guys seen the? I think it's Stream Elements did research on the current growth of all streaming platforms.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
I
they-
did see that.
Yeah, okay. So obviously streaming and stuff's blowing up right now because everyone's stuck at home. Blah 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 blah. They had a blog post about I found it. They have a blog post about the growth, month-on-month growth of all streaming platforms. Here are the numbers of the four biggest streaming platforms. You ready?
Dude, this is a great topic. Oh my gosh.
So Twitch's year-on-year growth this year, right, is 101%. Pretty good.
Well done, Twitch.
Yeah, good stuff.
101%, as in they've doubled their pretty much. Okay,
They're like hours watched. Yeah.
okay,
This is hours watched. I'm reading right now.
okay.
YouTube gaming has 65% growth.
That's so
more than I
impressive
would've
from
thought.
Twitch, though,
Well,
considering how
hold on.
big Twitch is to have
Yeah.
still been so much more than. Wow, okay,
It gets better. You
hold
ready?
okay.
Ready? Yeah. Facebook gaming, right?
Yep.
238% growth.
Wow.
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
mean,
they went
Facebook
from
is,
like 4 people to
Yeah.
12
They-
people.
Yeah.
They'd
well
only
done.
just started like last year, right?
Yeah.
So that makes sense.
Well done.
You ready for mixers?
Okay.
You know, Mixer,
So ready. So ready.
I bet
Mix
it's
have been
like
making
1,000% or something.
Mix have been making lots of moves, buying really big streamers, paying out money.
Remember, you've got to have the right mindset to receive this result. All right.
Yeah.
Have a loser's mindset. So
Yeah, they've been buying people left and right. 0.2%.
What?
Really?
0.2%.
oh wow.
I'll link it in the choke chat.
So what is, dude? What is no one just
0.2%.
watching Ninja or Shroud or anybody? Like,
That's all they're watching. Everybody else is just.
That's insane.
Yes.
Even with them giving away Mixer hoodies with your partnership details on the sleeve.
oh my gosh.
Wow.
But that's good though. On average, it's 99% growth for everyone. You know, Mixer's bringing the average down a little bit, but that's all right.
That's
I mean,
insane.
what makes Mixer so bad? Like, I know it's bad, and I don't know why. Someone explain to me why Mixer is bad.
When I looked at it, when the speedrunning community goes through like spats of, oh, we're all going to leave Twitch, or all these rules, or whatever, blah, blah, blah. So I've had to, they always pick up another platform, and I'm like, quick, get the Joshua's name before someone takes it. I had a look at Mixer this one time. They have like, one of their embedded features is that you can make sounds on the stream or something, like those soundboards.
Yeah,
Where
wait,
people-
the viewer
people
can do
play-
that, or the
The
content
viewer can do
creator?
that. You know where some people,
That's awful.
you know when some people on Twitch have like the thing where you type !quack or something, and then it makes a quack sound on the stream.
Yeah.
It's like that, but built into the website. But this was years ago.
When
don't
I
know
was
if they still
looking
do
at
it.
Mixer, it seemed very gimmicky. Twitch is going that way as well, like with all the channel points and all this kind of stuff. Like they're starting to bring things like that in as well. But like it felt like it was all that. But I haven't really watched any proper streams on there, so I can't really say. I mean, platforms, it's about the stream itself, so the platform is just a means to view the content. But I don't know. I don't know why it feels like, I don't know why Mixer's struggling so much to bring people in, especially with the moves they're making to bring in
They're
these big
definitely. I
streamers.
mean, I wonder if I would really love to know the financials of all that, like paying all these big people, like, because I mean they had to offer these people real money because they were making real money on Twitch. You know,
I mean, when you
it's
look
like,
at
hey,
it,
come to our platform, you're gonna have significantly less viewership, so we're gonna have to pay you not only to recoup that lost income, but we're gonna have to pay you more just to make that decision too. Like, I want to know if they're going to make this money back.
yeah.
Yeah,
Like what I can't understand is the
Because I mean, I couldn't imagine how much they paid Ninja.
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine how much money Ninja was making on Twitch.
I mean,
Right?
other people. The thing is, none of us have like we're all sat here, and we're just like, what's even wrong with Mixer? I've never even watched it, right? Like, there's obviously not working, is it? We're saying that, right?
Yeah, there's something not going. I mean,
Yeah.
and that's the thing with like it is a risk. Like Ninja, biggest guy on Twitch, moves to Mixer. I don't know what his viewers are now, but if Mixer's general performance is anything to go by, he's not gonna go anywhere. He's not gonna, improve anywhere because there's nobody. Or the only people who are watching him are the people who were gonna watch him wherever he goes. He's not bringing anyone new.
Yeah.
So like he's just gonna fade into insignificance.
That's why I said when the announcement.
I'm sure his bank account is not
Well,
fading
of course,
into
yeah.
insignificance anytime soon.
That's why I said when the announcement happened, I was like, "Big deal. That's not going to make any difference at all to any streaming platform."
I have to wonder what the contracts are like because I always thought like I always joke about how if Mixer paid me or whatever, like sure I'd switch and like retire,
Oh,
right?
absolutely. Oh yeah.
Yeah. But the point is, Mixer is streaming, right? And he's streaming to make money. All of a sudden, Mixer comes along and says, "Hey, we'll pay you all of this money to come to a platform." Then he goes, "What's the motivation to keep streaming? Right?
Yeah,
you just lost all your viewership. You've got enough money now, right?" Like,
it would be more difficult because then you're not. The more subs you get, you're not seeing any of that money. I assume it's all just you've already been paid for everything that happens. It's kind of
You're
it
just
would be
working a
weird.
job. Like you're just straight up working a job.
RDT's in the chat, by the way. What a scum. Just popping in to say hi.
What happens with Ninja's contract if Microsoft just go, yeah, Mixer's not making us any money. Let's close it down.
He probably just goes back to Twitch, right? Like,
yeah,
they terminate the contract.
Twitch are like, well, no, you have to pay for an account now. Sorry.
Yeah.
No, Twitch aren't going to do that.
The prodigal son has returned. Please.
Yeah, it'd probably be more like that.
Yeah, happy birthday to your mom, RDT. But I was just looking at the numbers on that sheet that you linked. Like, the hours watched on Twitch, just for gaming content, was 1.5 billion hours watched in 1 year. Yeah. YouTube gaming, 461 million, so about a third. That's still pretty respectable. Facebook gaming coming up, 300 million. Mixer, 37 million. It sounds so pitiful in comparison.
Yeah, if they, for Twitch to do 100% when they're already like the biggest is insane.
Yeah.
But then to be like the smallest and then not grow at all, it's like, how did you do that, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Just one extra million would have been like 10% or something, right?
Yeah. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's odd looking at the top streamers now that Ninja and Shroud and whoever else has gone to Mixer, and it's just Anomaly and Summit, and then everybody else is way down there.
Yeah.
It's Mixer does have some interesting inbuilt stuff. They make it very easy to tie like rewards and whatnot into Microsoft games. Like one of the things that I used Mixer for back in the day was for Forza Horizon 4 to get XP in the game. Because if you have a Mixer stream open with Forza Horizon 4 on, it gives you constant XP rewards, which gives you wheel spins in the game to get extra cars. So people just started doing 24-hour replays of their streams on the platform, so you could just leave it on overnight, gain loads of XP, sign in the morning and get. But no, they stopped that. Mixer went, no, you're not allowed to do that anymore, and they killed their viewership on it. So
literally the same thing happened with Valorant, right? On Twitch recently.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Everyone was just replaying their streams, but not as a rerun, as live. So it had drops enabled, and people were just watching it for Valorant keys.
This has been a consistent thing that you see it a lot with smaller streamers. They'll sort of group together and get into clans of streamers or whatever, and then they'll try to force the issue. Instead of growing organically through content, they'll do giveaways. They'll band together and do a big giveaway where you have to follow them to be able to win the giveaway and stuff like that. And then they have the numbers of followers that you would say was an established streamer for doing something like that, but it's not they're not real followers. They're just they're fake. They're no better than a follower bot, because someone's only followed you for the purposes of winning a giveaway, and it doesn't translate to viewership, and in the end you just
I mean, a percentage of them might stay, but on the whole you're right.
Yeah, but it's not worth if you get 1,000 extra followers and 0.1%, it's like one person, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. This is that's a common thing I talk about, with not to tangent this off, but GDQ. How it has hundreds of thousands of viewers or whatever. But the transfer rate of those viewers to the streamers that do the runs is so tiny. It's insane.
Yeah.
It's if 1% of all those people said, "Oh, this guy's cool, let's watch his stream," right? A person would have 1,000 viewers, right? It'd be ridiculous.
Yeah, it doesn't.
It doesn't
work
even get that near negligible effect. You have to be so cool. You have to be such a high level of cool, good streamer. You can't just be really good at the game. You've got to be a true personality.
But it's just doing anything unorganic like that. Say someone with 5 followers suddenly starts streaming on this channel, for example, and said, "Hey, come watch me" or whatever. Right? They probably wouldn't do anything.
Yeah, it wouldn't.
I suppose you can equate it to football fans that only get excited for the World Cup.
Yeah, it's the Olympics, right?
The Olympics. Yeah.
I'm not watching figure skating right now, but if it's on the Olympics, I'd watch it. Right?
Fuck yes, I'm watching it. Yes.
Well, okay.
It's on the Olympics. Come on.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's that exact thing.
Yeah, I'm curious to see how things develop over the next year or two with all of this. Like these exclusivity deals are kind of getting done. Like we saw that PewDiePie exclusively streams to YouTube now. YouTube signed him, which is surprising given all of the controversy he had, and YouTube seemed to go through a period of forgetting that he even exists. Now YouTube have signed him to exclusively stream a couple of times a week on YouTube.
That's like the only example of someone who was already on the platform just then be on that like being signed to be on that platform, right?
Well, Twitch has done it with a few people, right?
Oh, have they?
Like
Okay,
Dr. Disrespect, didn't he get like signed by Twitch?
Yeah, a lot of
Maybe.
people have been signed by Twitch exclusively as well. Yeah.
Okay, then I guess you just don't hear about it as much. It's not such big news.
But
yeah,
like,
it's not big news whenever someone who is already on a platform just says, "Hey, I'll stay here."
Yeah.
You know.
But then, like, circling it back to the whole Joe Rogan thing, I'm assuming with such a popular podcast, he wasn't only on YouTube. He already had hosting his podcast on Spotify and iTunes and all the other podcast places. Whereas now he doesn't have all that.
The key is the video stuff because he was getting millions of views. He puts up like 3 podcasts a week that are 3 hours long.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen some of those podcasts, and it always
podcast.
has like massive view counts. They are very popular.
Man.
Yeah, and it's just like I don't want to go to Spotify for my video content either. You know, if all you do is listen to the audio version, this probably makes no difference to you. But for how I watch it,
I'm interested to try it. I'll give it a whirl. But I mean, if I can't get it on my Android TV, which is where I consume most of my YouTube stuff, then there's no point.
But
Yeah,
you see,
it's a bit of a risk that people aren't going to be able to transfer with you because they don't have it in their, the support for it, or they just don't want to.
He doesn't seem. You can correct me if I'm wrong, Nos. He doesn't seem to have made an announcement on his YouTube channel.
He
seems
did.
a bit weird. Oh, he did. He did. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Here, I can probably
Alright,
link
my
it to
bad.
you while
I didn't-
Josh finishes his thought that he was trying to
Yeah,
add.
okay. So what I was going to say is, you see, this is working. Spotify's done it, right? You want to follow Joe Rogan to another place.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to follow Ninja to Mixer, right? Like,
Yeah.
so I've done this smarter, I think.
Andrew in the
but
chat asked
I
what...
didn't like Ninja to begin with. So.
Well, yeah, but I mean, Ninja's audience doesn't want to follow him either. As I mean,
Andrea asked in the chat, does Bruff know what RSS is? I mean, this podcast has had an RSS feed since episode 1 3 years ago. So in the description of any of the videos on the channel, there's the link to the RSS feed.
oh, that guy! I've seen clips of that.
Agnew, no, I don't just watch.
Oh, that guy.
yeah.
Do you not even remember who Joe Rogan was?
I don't even know who he is. No.
He had a
Wow.
really interesting interview with Tony Hawk.
Yeah,
this week.
I still need to watch that.
What's the
episode.
likes and dislikes on this video? Oh, 38k to 28k. 1 million views. All credits go to YouTube censorship, was the top comment.
Mhm.
Yeah, I guess that is an aspect too. YouTube isn't supporting and actively bringing you down. Then why would you stay? If
I'll be
Spotify
interested to
is
see
gonna
what
be-
his growth is going to be like on Spotify as a platform.
Like,
Yeah,
Because-
it's definitely going to be interesting. It's going to be an interesting time.
Yeah, that's
It's
what I
going
was
to be
saying.
an
It'll be interesting to see.
experiment.
Yeah. Like what is going to happen in the end? What will happen to Ninja in 2 years' time? Where will Joe Rogan be? Will he be bigger or same size where he could have been bigger? What is going to happen with these people? What's going to happen with the platforms themselves? It's interesting as an outsider to watch.
no, I definitely think he would be fine because people want to follow him where he goes. I think, but Ninja, I don't know.
Yeah.
But
Plus, the Joe Rogan experience is really interesting because I feel like a lot of the more than the average podcast, the viewers probably come from the guests, as opposed to
right.
someone who just watches the podcast every week, right?
Yeah.
Like, because I don't watch every one of his podcasts,
Yeah,
but it's like
I'm the
someone,
same.
Elon Musk is on there, yes. Tony Hawk on there, yes. Some UFC fighter, no, don't care. Or some comedian, no.
He does. He does a really good job of bringing in people from both sides as well. Like he
every
won't
side,
stick
not just
to
both, like all sides.
He won't stick to a political viewpoint. He'll ask legitimate questions. If
Ben Shapiro
people
was
coming
on there.
from-
I love that
yeah.
episode. That was great.
from
Like,
all sides, and it's really interesting to see like a well balanced interview.
Yeah.
To someone who is obviously one way or the other, getting asked a balanced question for once, and them having to respond in a long form.
He's a good interviewer.
Podcast.
Yeah, that's just a
he's
good host.
really good. He's really good.
And what Ramos is,
Doesn't get angry at all. Doesn't get angry. Doesn't get heated. Doesn't get drawn into like debates or anything like that. Just like takes in all of the information, and then just really good interviewer.
I haven't watched it obviously, but does he just get the best out of the person he's talking to, or is he actually like a personality?
Yeah,
himself?
and he's funny too. He's funny too.
It's like a funny Parkinson.
Yeah, he's great. He's great.
But
and
like,
that's why I'm so willing to like follow him to another platform. At least give it a whirl. If I don't like it and I can't consume it easily, then I can live without it. It's not.
Yeah. But what Ramos says in the chat is pretty. It's an important point as well. Spotify already is massive, whereas something like Mixer isn't. It's one thing to go from.
But is Spotify big for the podcasting platform, or is it big just because people listen to music on it?
Yeah, but the point is that if you're listening to if you're listening to stuff, if you have Spotify on your phone and you're using it daily anyway, it's a lot easier to have the transition than it is to have to download a new app, create a new account, get used to the new app in the first place and a new platform. Like, it's one thing to move from one big platform exclusively to another big platform, whereas in comparison to trying to build up a small
from
platform,
Twitch to Mixer,
like YouTube to Spotify is like a side grade. It's like a different thing.
Yeah.
Whereas Twitch to Mixer is just a straight downgrade. It's just worse, right? Like,
that's what we were saying earlier. Like, new Spotify is bringing in video, and that's obviously the reason that they've got Joe Rogan.
Yeah, part of the problem, if we go back to Mixer again, that I had with Mixer is you've got to sign in with a Microsoft account, and the only Microsoft account that I had at the time when Mixer was coming out was the one that was tied to my PC, and when you sign in, it gives you your real name. Like my real name is tied to my Microsoft account for my main PC.
Yeah, now you can't.
So like I would appear like that on Mixer. I'm like, fuck off, Microsoft. You can't pick your own username. It's tied to your Microsoft account. Go away, Microsoft, would you?
Have you ever? This is very tangent-y now, but have you ever been on a stream that requires Facebook connected account to talk on Twitch?
No, is that a thing?
What? That's a thing.
Yeah,
I bet that really cuts down on the bullying.
Yeah, at least it used to be. You have to attach a Facebook account to your Twitch account.
Oh boy,
that's an interesting one.
Yeah. No.
No.
Minimize chat and keep watching.
No part of that one.
In this day and age.
Yeah, really.
Shout out to all of those who listen to this podcast on Spotify, by the way. There are a good few of them.
Yeah.
Maybe once they roll out the video stuff, we can start putting them up the video stuff.
Yes, we just be exclusive to Spotify.
That's a good point.
We'll do it real cheap, like $500 to each of us, and we'll be exclusive.
We don't have to be exclusive. We can go out on all platforms.
Yeah.
We've not signed an exclusivity deal.
Well, I'm just saying I would.
Yeah. Spotify.
No, don't read it, you fool. That's the point.
Well, I mean, if you're going to put it out there. I don't actually use Spotify myself, but
I've been thinking about
you're stuck in the old age of iTunes, aren't you?
Yeah, I have my own music collection and
for music.
I know.
Hey, who pays for music? Oh my god!
I rent my music. Thanks very much.
Yeah, just because I have music on my local hard drive doesn't necessarily mean that it was paid for.
Who has music stored on their hard drive? Oh my gosh, you're such a boomer. Oh, dear Lord.
I have it.
Where'd you get off of LimeWire? My Lord, how old are you?
I probably still do have some songs on my hard drive that I got off LimeWire back in the day. Like, I've got a lot of CDs up there that I get if it's something that I particularly like, I will buy the CD and rip it. I've still got a CD drive on my PC.
Rip it! Oh my god!
Yeah,
I haven't
still,
bought
but
a CD in probably 10 years.
So old.
Probably
I don't know.
10
I
years.
just like having my own like collection of music that I
Then buy records like a sophisticated hipster instead of buying a CD.
I can't
okay?
listen to a record on my phone.
A record on your
You
phone.
can't play a CD on your phone either.
But yeah, but I can transfer the CD to the PC and then
You
listen
can
to it.
transfer the vinyl to the PC too.
Yeah.
With
It's
what?
2020.
I don't have a vinyl drive in my PC.
No, but cables and players exist.
I swear you must be able to get a USB vinyl. player, right? Come on. Search exists. USB vinyl record player. Yeah, you can get them.
Yeah, you can get.
So
Yep,
shut
it's
your
there.
face, Adam, bro.
How much is a USB vinyl record player?
Anywhere from like 70 to 300
That's
pounds.
too
Yeah,
expensive.
there you go. Oh, it's
Oh,
too
there's
expensive.
there's cheapo ones. £19, £19.
There you go. There you go.
That is so much more
vinyl
effort.
Sounds so much better, and it's so much classier.
Wow, I just realised the folly of what I've just said. Okay, I'm shutting up now. That is so much more effort when I'm here ripping CDs to my local hard drive and managing my own music collection. Yeah, okay.
I love,
Okay.
Ruff, I love when you just have those moments of being self-aware.
Yeah.
It's great.
Oh man.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Since
we might get Bruff converted to the Spotify train. You never know. Streaming music.
I mean, we have a Spotify. Zexy has a Spotify account, so I could use it. It's just I don't. But anyway, we since we're talking about platforms and stuff, Twitch channel changes. Some of you had opinions on this.
I don't know anything about this.
I
so you'll have
haven't
to tell
really. I didn't mind it too much, but I'm not actually using the channel page every day, so.
I mean, I haven't used it super a lot, but my viewers have been very confused recently.
Yes.
Been a lot of people that are like, "Where's the clips button gone?" Right? Like,
Yeah. So.
Oh yeah, where is
quite-
clips?
Yeah.
where is anything? Where's the videos? Where is
So. Twitch started this off. They notified, for those in chat that aren't an affiliate or a partner, they notified all affiliates and partners of this probably about 3 months ago. And they said,
If I send an email or something.
tell you what, they did send an email. They said, "Hey guys, guess what? The thing we announced at TwitchCon, that's available for you now to play around with." Cool, I said. I'm going to go and have a play around with that. Could I find it in the settings? Could I balls? Because it's buried under ridiculous settings for everything. It's just horrendous. You can't. It's like, oh, you can upload this image. Where does that image go? Dunno. Doesn't say. Like, okay. I mean, it
Thing
was.
is, there is a videos
I
tab.
couldn't preview it. So when it went live, I was like, "What the fuck is this shit? This isn't what I set up." Because I was just putting stuff in places that I thought would probably correspond to what they were, but they weren't. And it was just stupid Twitch.
See, I
Sort yourselves out.
did all that as well. I sort of set things up in advance and previewed it and stuff like that.
Yeah,
but
and
I have
guess
to
what?
say,
You've
like,
still got, when I go to your channel, you've still got the stupid orange background with Bruffy1322 written across it everywhere, rather than an actual channel image.
yeah, I did upload my channel image, but it looks terrible. Like, it doesn't.
Yeah.
It doesn't. So, but
They
but
didn't
the
give
thing.
us any of the formats, any of the file sizes,
No.
any of the quality levels, none.
But
so
the one thing that I
if
will
you're
say is that
disappointed with what you're looking at, it's Twitch's fault. not the streamer.
I don't particularly mind the way that it looks, and
Yeah,
I quite like the schedule button that lists it all out for people. The videos tab just then has all your videos on the about section. Like
That's fine for you, Bruffy. I'm a streamer who doesn't have a schedule, but I'm forced to have a schedule button on my channel page.
okay. Oh yeah, that's stupid. You can't disable that.
Can't disable it. You're stuck with what it is. So anybody clicking on the schedule page on my channel gets fuck all.
Well, they see your previous past broadcasts, like listed, and they can just go straight to those past broadcasts. Like, I like that as well. Like, it's got the calendar of everything that you've done on a specific day, in addition to what's coming up that week.
there's there's some okay. I'm in the middle here. There's some good stuff. Like I like being able to scroll down and there's a big box that says, "Hey, I'm this person. Here's my social links." Right. So everyone doesn't have to have the same boxes in the thing. They've finally stolen the Francoface Z feature of having the uptime just listed on the flipping screen next to the view account.
That's good. Yeah.
Yeah.
That is good.
Only Francoface Z's had this for like 5 years or whatever. Anyway.
Fun fact. Oh, I was going to say fun fact. It's
Oh
not
yeah, I
included on
see
the
that.
review,
Okay.
but it's in a different
Yeah.
place.
I mean, no viewers are going to notice it, and everyone's going to keep having an exclamation mark uptime command forever anyway. But like the things I don't like is that how do I get to the other page, the like behind page? The only way I know how to do it is to click on like your face or whatever, like the little circle.
I mean, you
Yeah.
can click on the
Avatar
name.
icon. Does the name work as well? Okay, why? Why is there not a? Why are the tabs not there? Why don't they just always have the tabs there?
Yeah, why
It's
aren't
a
they?
bit-
Yeah, why?
it's
Yeah,
a
why isn't the channel page with the tabs
It's like
just
All
part
of my
of the
viewers
entire?
didn't know. None of my viewers knew to click on the icon or the name. I didn't even know to click on
It's
the
like
name.
there's
right?
there's two pages for one thing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's like super weird.
yeah, that's
but like,
true.
but the actual page behind it is sort of okay. Like the whole schedule, like people having to have a schedule is pretty stupid, right? But it's just like all these little niggly issues. It's like, why is there no clips? Like,
Yeah,
it's just all
clips
sorts
should
of-
be its own thing. Yeah, the fact that
It's-
clips is buried under videos is no good. That's
Yeah.
that's no good.
I'm
It's all
glad
just
that all
little-
my videos are still organized, though.
They're like the suggested streamers or whatever is your auto host list now, right? Which is kind of okay, but like maybe I don't want to show everyone my auto host list, right? For whatever reason.
It is with one exception.
Hmm.
So I have someone that I no longer talk to or associate with, but I can't remove them from my recommended streamer list. They're not in my auto host. They're just I don't follow them. They're in my recommended list, and I cannot change it anywhere.
Great, sick, cool.
That's
Where
great.
it's pulled it from? Don't know where it's pulled it from.
It's like they tried, right? They tried. You were talking about they gave all the affiliates and stuff early access to this or whatever.
But didn't
like-
change anything.
Yeah, what if they had just actually given us the damn page instead of just
Yeah,
having a bunch
exactly.
of buried settings?
Exactly. They gave us the settings and a picture of what it looked like at TwitchCon, and that's
Yeah.
it. It's
Classic
not good enough
Twitch.
They're doing
Not
a
good enough
staggered.
Twitch.
They were doing
Sorry,
a
it's not
staggered
right.
rollout. They were doing a staggered rollout anyway, right? Why not give it to the partners and affiliates first? Right? I don't know. So weird.
Yeah, there are. I like a lot of features that they've added with it, but I agree that there's certain things that just make it. Well, why did you even bother doing this? Why is this not just one thing? Why can I not have more customizability over what I'm showcasing? Yeah,
Yeah.
half-hearted.
it's
An attempt was made.
Yeah. What
Yeah.
what really annoys me is that again they've completely changed the Twitch page UI and haven't informed any of their third party developers. Like Better Twitch TV and
Third
Francoface
party,
said didn't know.
developers, they don't matter.
Yeah. So the Francoface said dev who's already overworked and everyone's always screaming at him to add stuff. Now he's got like a new page that half of his user base has and slowly rising, right? Maybe he doesn't even have it, and somehow he needs to make it work with all the stuff he's added, right? It's so stupid.
Yeah, and they seem to willy-nilly take things away and from the API, like the sub score got removed from the API, so that doesn't work anymore as a feature. You can't display that anywhere.
Have I talked
No.
about the API here before?
Commander
we did
root
last
logs
Oh yeah,
got taken
yeah,
away as well.
yeah. The
Oh my
logs
God,
where you
cease
can
and desist.
find out. Yeah, if you wanted to look up the username changes, so that we can transfer like the
Oh,
points and all that kind
yeah.
of stuff. Can't do that anymore. That's down.
Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah, I
Twitch
actually
half-assery,
used-
yes.
I actually use the API where I've like been programming my bot and stuff, and it's like they're constantly just making it worse. They had like this super great publicly open API at one point, and then it's just like oh no, now we've got too big and there's too many people using it, too many server costs and security issues, right? Like lock it down, make it worse, right? So that it's just like slowly eroding at it, because if they take it all at once, everyone will be mad. It's just like the latest thing they did was make it so that have you ever like needed an OAuth key before and you just went on, you just googled like Twitch OAuth key as like a website and you press it? Yeah. You can't do that anymore. The OAuth key you use with a program has to be developed, like given out from that program, and depending on when you registered your app with Twitch, you have like different rules about OAuth. Like thankfully, I registered ages ago, and so did like Taduva for Chatty, so you don't have to like. So it's just like you generate it once and you're good. But if you now go and get an OAuth key, it's like, oh, this runs out every 30 days, by the way. So now all of your users constantly have to regenerate an OAuth key every 30 days, and they can't just go get someone else like from another app or anything. It's
tell you what, the amount of slagging off that we're doing of Twitch and YouTube may have to be exclusive to Spotify code.
Spotify and Mixer. Well, it's comes from a place of love because we want to see the platform actually do better.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
I don't care about the platform anymore.
No,
I
mean, do you want to slag off Domino's at all? So
now what?
This is the time where we need to ask Hammer to not listen.
Yes, Bruff and I need to have a conversation.
Oh, okay. Ping me when you're done, boys.
Yeah. Okay.
Will do.
Hammer gets muted. Hammer gets muted, and I have nothing to add. Going into sleep mode.
Goodbye, Josh. All right, Bruff.
You can add things as a third party asking pertinent questions about something.
Yeah, you can ask. Okay.
Jason.
So Bruff. Yeah, Jason. Okay. So how is Detroit Become Human? Tell me about your Detroit Become Human experience. Let's talk about it. Because I've wanted to talk about this David Cage games for so long.
You have mentioned them quite a bit on the streams over the years.
And now you have played what I would say is the best one. So what was your thoughts?
Spoiler alert to anyone who either hasn't played Detroit and wants to, or hasn't watched my playthrough yet and wants to finish watching what I did in the playthrough. That'll be going up on YouTube next week.
I like how Noss remembered to let Hammer leave but didn't warn the audience.
Because I care more about Hammer than the audience himself.
I had mixed feelings about it. I really liked some things and really despised other things.
Ooh, despise? That's a strong word.
I very, very, very much disliked the controls.
Okay, yeah.
Just on a very basic level, having to do QuickTime events with my right thumb on the buttons, but then also do them with my right thumb on the stick and have to do weird little movements with the stick and then go back to a button again instead of just having it on the left stick infuriated me.
I mean, I got turned off as soon as you said QuickTime.
Yeah,
no?
that was going to be my next point. The QuickTime events themselves were annoying. The fact that you had to shake the controller, use the touchpad sometimes, and it never seemed to be clear on what to do in a lot of situations. But from a playing through choices, making choices, storyline, going through, enjoying the story, enjoying the outcomes of the choices that I make, and always when I play these games I never reload any saves to get a better outcome or anything. I just take it as it happened. I enjoyed it as an overall experience. I enjoyed playing it.
Is it good though? Is the story good? You enjoyed it, but would you say it's good? What would you say about the overall quality?
I mean, it was very on the nose at some points.
You don't say.
there wasn't much subtlety in a lot of it. I feel like the story as a base was great, and the story was great. The telling of it had some improvements that could have been made. It was the act of telling the story more so than the story itself that I thought.
Yeah, the overarching world and the story, like wasn't necessarily terrible. It's just like that. How it's almost. I always found that the game is like a little offensive in on how the on the nose it is. Like, hey, we're gonna put the robots in the back of the bus,
That
so
was
you
the bit that
really
got me.
understand
Yeah.
that we're trying to draw a parallel here. That the misfortunes of these tin cans are equal, to the civil rights movement. We're really trying to drive this home. Do you understand that this is a metaphor for racism? Everybody,
The androids
do you
on the back of the
understand?
bus was like the main point where I just like there'd already been moments where it was kind of like, are you trying to tell me something not so subtly? I know that you are, but are you really being that obvious about your attempt to be subtle? Like, and then the androids at the back of the bus, and I was like, okay, yeah, this is
And
what we're doing.
it's offensive that this white Swedish man who wrote this story is trying to equate machines to human beings. Also, let's talk about that. I mean, they're machines. They're robots. They're toasters. Okay, they're toasters that think they can feel. They are not human beings.
Well, that would depend on your outlook, I suppose. That's the point of the game, is to make you think one way or another. Do you actually believe that these androids got sentience and became, let's say, conscious beings, or do you believe that they're just androids that had a system malfunction?
Well, I mean, if we want to take the story seriously and actually talk about the moral question of that game, like, it doesn't matter whether they feel or not. They're not people. They're machines. Like, they can have genuine beat boop bop feelings. That doesn't mean that we're not still going to crush them. Which is why I wanted to ask, like, give me kind of a synopsis of your story, because you can do it different ways. And I honestly, the decisions I made with my outlook on the whole game, like, I actually kind of respected it as a story when I made the choices that I made in the moment. So what did give me a synopsis.
I mean,
of kind of the big choices
from what
made.
you have said, I assume our endings were very different.
Very different.
Yeah.
Very, because I got the one that not many people did.
Okay. I guess you could say the apart from the details where people died, that the side characters that died because of a mistake or whatever, the I guess you could say the best ending. I had the two main characters. They two of the three main characters. They had the whole group of other androids, and they were successful in their plight.
Did you do it like peacefully, I'm guessing?
Yeah.
Okay.
I did a like full on peaceful, no aggression sort of thing.
Okay.
And then
what happened to Connor in your playthrough? Did he become a deviant, I'm guessing?
Yes.
Okay.
And he was successful at being a deviant and
Okay.
helped the revolution.
Okay. So here, I'll tell you my story, or the one that I got. Okay, so, really, most of the choices you make throughout, like, the first, I would say, 2/3 of the game really don't have much consequence unless you do something dumb like fail 3 quick time events and then, Kara dies in the highway or something.
Oh yeah, that was a particular moment that I was
So,
close to like.
Anyway, I played the game from the very beginning that, like, with the mindset of Connor. By the way, look, I'm not gay, but Brian Deckard is a very good-looking man, and he is an excellent actor. I aspire to look like that man. He is so.
Is that the Connor?
Yes, that's the man who plays Connor.
He
He's
was my
such a
favorite
good-looking
character
man.
in the end.
Oh, absolutely. I hated all the other characters except Connor and Mr. Krabs. That was it. Like, Connor and Mr. Krabs, I just wanted the whole game to be just Connor and Mr. Krabs going out and solving crime.
Yeah.
Like, that would have been
That was a
better
good
game.
pairing.
But so Kara ended up with the little girl that turns out to be an android. Twist. Whoa, what a twist, by the way. They ended up naked and alone in a concentration camp. Pretty good.
Okay.
So
Jesus.
that was pretty good. And the big man, he died. He died trying to save him. When Connor gets to the point where Marcus, Robot Jesus, is like, "Come on, be a deviant," and I just made Connor say no. And then it puts you into like that kind of combat sequence. Like there's a combat sequence between Marcus and Connor, and I intentionally made Marcus fail the quick time event, and Connor just picks up his gun, points it at Marcus, like, mission accomplished. Boom. He kills Marcus on the ship. It was great. It was excellent. Okay. Also, Mr. Krabs kills himself because, he, for some reason, put his faith and treated the robot like a son, and the robot turned out to be a robot, which was very shocking. So, it's almost as if he was a cold machine set out to do one task and not Mr. Krabs' son. So he killed himself, which was pretty good. And then Connor kills North as well. And then at the end of all this, so Connor is successful in his mission, does not become a deviant, is cold all the way to the bitter end. And what does CyberLife do? They introduce Connor to the RK-900 and then decommission Connor. Just
is that really what happens in that?
Yes, that is what happens. It's so great, and it's so real. And the revolution is quelled. It's destroyed. All the robots go back to just being robots, right? It's basically like it's the most realistic that story could be, and I really enjoyed playing through that story.
The one thing that I'll say about the game, like obviously we had very different playthroughs, we had very different outlooks on what was happening through the game, and the one thing that I'll say about it is it was very good at allowing you to make your own version
I do
of
agree with
the
that.
ending.
I do agree with that. With all of the problems I have with the game being borderline offensive in the message it's trying to send and equate to the civil rights movement and all that, like the amount of choices you can have, like even from the very beginning, like one of the good examples is like the like when Kara and Alice, that's her name, are trying to find somewhere to stay for the night. Like in that chapter, there's like 5 different things you can do. You can go in the house with the crazy robot. You can stay in the car. You can like steal money from a store with the gun that you have from if you manage to pick up the gun in Todd's house.
Yeah. It's like LeBron says, it's like Walking Dead, but your choices actually matter. And they do branch, and then they have effects later in the game. And that was refreshing to see a game that allows that level of your choices making a big difference and a big impact throughout the game, even right up to the end. Such divergent paths. That was probably one of the best things about it.
Yeah, and the fact that it gives you the flowchart at the end is such a good move too.
Yeah.
So you know exactly what you did and what you didn't do, and everything like that. It's great.
Okay, that's the first cool thing you've said.
Yeah.
Hey, did you when Kamsky told you to kill the robot? Did you kill the robot or no?
No.
I imagine. No, yeah, I killed the robot because you have to have the storyline that I did, right? Like because you get to know Jericho through your detective work with Mr. Krabs, and I'm referring to him, Mr. Krabs, by the way. If you didn't know, the actor that plays Lieutenant Anderson is the voice of Mr. Krabs.
That's why I was wondering why you were saying that.
yeah, he is. Yeah, okay. And you can kind of hear bits and pieces of Mr. Krabs in the sections where he's drunk and yelling a lot. You can kind of hear it. You know what? I might play through Detroit Become Human and do
the hard.
mine,
Yeah, you should.
Take too long.
It would be a very different experience for people who watched my playthrough to then go and watch your playthrough. But I agree with what you're saying.
It's shorter too, because you miss out on like big sections. Like since Robot Jesus died, like you miss out on a quarter of the game.
Yeah, that was the thing. Like I missed out on oodles of content from making a mistake, and I just didn't get through to a certain area in time. And then that was it. That I don't get to go back. Like that was it. I just didn't play it.
Was it the police station bit with Connor? I'm guessing.
No, the Eden Club. I didn't follow in time.
Now you guys are talking my language. How fast can we beat this? Be the
I think
worst
that isn't it
detective
like
possible.
20 minutes or something? Like there are speedruns for the game, and it just involves like killing everybody
Killing the
as early as
characters as
possible.
soon
Yeah,
as
that makes
possible.
sense.
It's something like it might be 2 hours. It might not.
2 hours 51 minutes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, maybe I'll next day off. I'll play through Detroit Become Human again. I'll get the PS4
I
out.
thought you were gonna say you're gonna speed run it.
Oh, well, no, it'll be
It
near
might be. It'll be
speed
close.
It's
I
pretty
imagine.
speedy.
Yeah.
Okay.
I imagine a lot
but
of that
yeah-
2 hours 51 minutes is just cutscenes.
Yeah, but it's Detroit. David Cage is such an interesting writer. The games are so interesting, and it's almost like everything about his games. Every other facet of the game is so like well done. Like the graphics in Detroit Become Human are great. They are very high quality.
Yeah.
The gameplay, I didn't have a problem with the controls. The controls were
I
pretty
really
intuitive for
hated it.
me.
It really rubbed me up the wrong way sometimes.
But you know, like everything about the game, like the acting is great.
Yeah.
It's just some of that writing and some of those dialogue lines and stuff. It's
Yeah.
it's
One of the
crazy.
that's the thing. One of the things that frustrated me is when you're choosing like a dialogue option, it would give you like 4 different options to choose from, and you press square, triangle, whatever for whatever you want to choose. And sometimes I would press something, and what I read wouldn't line up with what they ended up saying. So they end up saying something that I'm like, well, that's not what I meant you. That's not what I wanted you to say. Like,
Yeah.
just give me what he was actually gonna say.
Oh yeah, and the soundtrack was amazing too. Let's talk about that soundtrack. Gorgeous soundtrack, fantastic.
Are his other games like Beyond Two Souls and Heavy Rain are 2 of the most common that people want me to play after that? Are they the same as
They are.
much?
I will say if you play Heavy Rain's definitely worth playing. I really enjoyed Heavy Rain. But if you had problems with Detroit's controls, Detroit is basically an advancement in the controls from Heavy Rain.
Okay.
So I would, you're definitely gonna have a harder time playing Heavy Rain if you had a hard time playing Detroit. I really liked Heavy Rain. I've never played Beyond Two Souls, but I've watched a playthrough of it, and it seems pretty wild.
Right.
David Cage wanting Ellen Page to be in his game since she was a little girl. Like that's documented. That is really weird.
Even weirder what they did with her model.
Yes, there's a bunch of weird stuff going on. Fahrenheit is the wildest of his games, I would say. I would recommend Fahrenheit. The controls are different in Fahrenheit, and the story is absolutely wild. And what else does he have?
Until Dawn is better than any of those games. I agree that Until Dawn was better than Detroit. I can't say about anything else, but Until Dawn was a sleeper. Didn't expect anything of it. The first couple of hours were like, what is this? And then it turned it all on its head, and it was fantastic. But yeah, Detroit was so good in so many areas, I thought. And I agree with what you're saying, like that there's so many parts of the game that are such high quality graphics, soundtrack, acting, the divergent paths, the choices, the story in and of itself as a whole. It was just the sort of the approach to the story, telling the story. I think that was more of a tinge on it. But yeah, good game. I enjoyed it, nevertheless.
It's so bad and so good in so many different ways, and that's why I find it interesting.
And we had very different we had basically the opposite playthroughs.
I think hopefully if I get some time off next week, I'll play through it again. I'll do a playthrough.
I would be interested in seeing that. I might tune in for that because I'd like to see how the story is when you go into it with the mindset
when you hate robots.
Yeah, yes. This is a robot, and this is just what they're experiencing is programming issues.
Yeah, well, and not even necessarily that. Like, let's say the deviants are people. Okay, yeah, they're people. They have conscience. Like, in my head canon of this world, how would CyberLife's most advanced prototype model be susceptible to this? What is essentially an error, right? Like, this model was made to accomplish a mission, and Connor always accomplishes his mission, right? You know, if you look at it through that point, like you can even do Marcus, like you can play Marcus and play Kara, like, you know, as people, and they do everything right, but then you play Connor as everything right, and Connor ends up, like, Cyberlife ends up winning because that prototype model is
It's
so
better.
good, right?
Yeah.
And, you know, there's also the element of, you know, the people have guns. You know, they there's more people. You could just turn the robots off. You know, stuff like that.
I feel like you're glossing over a lot of the nuance, but we
Yeah.
could, the discussion could go on for for hours, I imagine, and debates
Yeah.
could be had.
RA9 is Robot Jesus. RA9 is Marcus.
Yeah,
Like that's
that was very
Yeah.
on the nose as well. Like that, just the moments like that, they were very like you're trying to be subtle, but you're doing the opposite effects right now.
yeah, like he's like just him crawling out from his death. You know, like 3 days. I'm sure, I don't even know if it was 3 days later, but I bet it was 3 days after he got thrown in there. He climbs out of he pieces himself together and climbs himself from his death in his tomb and comes out to save robots everywhere.
RA9 is actually the player, if I remember correctly.
Is RA9 the player? I have no
Interesting
idea.
way to look at it.
Oh, speaking of that, what I was going to say is if you play, like, because Mr. Krabs is going to hate you because you're not his son. With Connor, he's going to hate Connor because Connor's not his son. So to get the information that Connor needs, you have to kill the Chloe robot and ask Kamsky where Jericho is, and he will tell you, and then that's how your Connor is able to track down.
Okay. Yeah,
Because since Mr. Krabs isn't very happy with you, the investigation doesn't go as it should. So you get that information from Kamsky, and then you track down Marcus. You mission accomplish Marcus, and then you track down North at the end of the game, and then you mission accomplish North, and then you get replaced, and then Connor gets replaced. It's great.
Okay. I'd be interested in seeing that playthrough.
No, not poor North. North way too violent. North terrible. North even worse than Robot Jesus, and I hated Robot Jesus. Phenomenal actor. Hated Marcus as a character.
That's
Also, the fact that Marcus, hold on, just another rant. Marcus comes, like, he was treated as a son by this rich old man, and now he's going to be a martyr for robots everywhere. Like, he's lived, like, a life of luxury since his creation.
I think Marcus was my least favorite character
Jesus.
as well.
It's ridiculous.
I liked Connor like a significant amount better than the other two.
Oh,
I liked
definitely.
Kara better than Marcus.
I like every other character other than Marcus.
Okay.
Marcus was the worst part of that game. I wanted Marcus to be thrown into traffic. I'm really glad that Connor mission accomplished him.
All right, I'm going to tell Hammer
we're
that
done.
it's safe now, so we're not allowed to talk about Detroit anymore.
At Hammer.
Let's get him back in.
But I will play it. I will play it next week.
Yeah, I might tune in for that. When he realizes. So, gaming news. Considering we had nothing to talk about at the very start of this, like we're an hour and 23 minutes in, and we haven't even gotten to the gaming news segments yet. Although the segments are pretty short.
You guys have finished talking about that game.
It was all a dream. I got you. Way.
You son of a bitch. He was dead all the time.
Here, I'll have to be right back again. Give me a second.
So gaming news. Did you guys see the Unreal Engine 5 showcase?
Yeah.
Looked pretty good.
Looked astonishingly good, like the rock stuff, but there was a major problem in that the character didn't fit with the environment and made it look very unrealistic. They went very cartoonish with the character.
Well, the actual important stuff is the features they actually announced, right? Did you guys look at any of that?
I don't care about that. I just care about what it looks like.
Do you want the developer perspective, or should we just say how shiny the rocks were?
What's the main takeaway from it?
the two main things, the whole point they were showing the shiny rocks was that they added two new features, pretty much, sort of, two major features. The first one is their like custom, like half real time, half not ray tracing lighting they're doing. Which tells me that the ray tracing stuff inside these new consoles is shit, because otherwise they'd just use it. So they're
Okay,
already
yeah,
trying to
okay.
find ways around it.
Okay.
So that's a good sign. But it's pretty intelligent what it does. Without getting into too many details, it's basically like, yeah, their lighting model is like right now you have like screen space like reflections and lighting and stuff, and then you have like the real ray tracing stuff, right? They're sort of like combining both and using different ones on like different size models and stuff. And like ambient occlusion is like and all that. It's hard to explain, but the lighting is clever.
But it's still a compromise over just full on ray tracing. If that was working as well as it should be.
Well, I mean, as well as it should. I mean,
Oh.
AMD doesn't have like a. Do they have any ray tracing cards yet? Like publicly?
I don't know.
I don't think so, right? Because the fact that these consoles even have ray tracing at all must have been like a last minute, like, oh shit, Nvidia announced ray tracing, quick, slam it into these, right? Like,
Yeah.
I said AMD, not. Oh wait, RTX 20. Wait, no, that's Nvidia. Okay, whatever. Anyway, yeah, because it's AMD GPUs in the big two consoles.
Yeah.
But the other thing that's actually sort of interesting, and I can actually see getting used quite a lot, is their crud, I can't remember what it's called. But basically, they have like a custom like pragmatic LOD system. Do you guys know what LOD is? I guess I'll explain anyway, right?
Level of detail.
Oh, he knows.
We know.
Yeah, we talked about it before when we had Robin.
Yeah, GTA Wise guy on the channel. He was talking about all that.
Yep.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll explain it a little bit then. Basically, like in games, when stuff is far away, there's no reason to render it with like 1 million polygons, right? So they have like say you have a bot, or say you have, I don't know, say you have a wheel of a car, right? To make that look good up close without tessellation or anything like that, you need to have lots of polygons to make it like actually round, because polygons are like triangles, they're all straight lines, right? So, but when it's close up, when you look at it, when your character is like stood right in front of a big wheel, like a monster truck wheel or something, it needs to look really round. But when it's further away, wasting all those polygons on something that's really far away and you can barely see is like pointless, right? And like the texture resolution stuff is wasteful as well. So what developers do, and they've been doing for a really long time, even like Super Mario 64 had this. The further stuff away, they switch the level of detail, it's called. So you could probably find, if I look Super Mario 64 LOD, maybe I could find a picture of it. Okay, it's not that great, whatever. But like basically developers, so say you want to model Mario, you make a high resolution, high polygon count Mario with great textures and everything. And then you put it into the game engine, and then the game goes to 1 FPS, and you're like, oh crap, right. So then you take it back, and then you like take half the polygons out, right, and put it in, and then it runs properly, right? Then you take it back and you strip out more polygons, and you keep simplifying it and stuff. And then you have like the middle distance Mario. So if you zoom the camera out, you don't want to see all the polygons because it can't. If everything was like max quality all the time, it would like be too many polygons and stuff. I'm taking too long to explain this. Anyway, basically, the further stuff away is the less polygons.
Further
and the less
stuff
texture
looks
resolution.
worse.
Yeah. But the
Closer
point
stuff
is,
look better.
but the point is, the developers back then they had like 2 different Mario models that someone had to make, right? Nowadays it's like, oh, you need like 20 different like
Marios.
Yeah, you need like 20 different Marios, right? So like for different distances. You've ever played a game where like rocks in the distance look really crap, and as you walk up to them, suddenly they turn good, and there's like this visible line, and you can walk back and forward between it? Have you seen that game before? But
Yeah, I mean GTA has those issues as well, and the cars have different levels of detail, and you can sometimes see the lower detail before it renders into the higher detail version and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's a mix of just not having enough versions of it. Like you could sit there and make 500 different copies of a car for different distances, like, but that would take so much man hour and wasted time and stuff and storage and whatnot. Anyway, long story short, I took way too long to explain it. The new stuff, I can't remember what it's called. They gave it a name, but Unreal Engine 5, I think that's the number, the new one, it can pragmatically do this. So instead of having your developers make lots of different ones manually, you just give it the highest one, the best one, and it just automatically makes it. Like, the further away you are, the worse it looks, and the closer, the better. Up until, like, you get the max
That
one.
must be a game changer from a developer side of things, like not to have to make these multiple levels of detail.
Bloody Squirrels has named it. It's Nanite, isn't it? I forgot about
Nanite, that's what it's called, yeah. But it's not just good from a developer work standpoint. It's also good from a fixing the whole problem of, like, you see the car magically pop in detail, right?
Yeah.
Because it's a lot better than things just being invisible, such as trees in San Andreas, until you
exactly. That's exactly. The problem is it takes a lot more like programming power to make this, right? Because it's taking like a high quality one and then like squishing it like real time, right? So it wasn't really possible before, but they've apparently got it working. But yeah, that's really cool. That seems like a really cool feature.
Yeah, that's cool.
But that's it, I think. This is what the next gen is. It's like sort of ray tracing, half-assed a little bit, and the LODs are fixed now.
Right? It'll be interesting to see what actually happens and whether we'll just see a little bit of a bump initially, and then
from a layman gaming perspective, I was impressed with the way it looked and think it's a relatively good step change in graphical. Fidelity, especially for console.
Yeah, definitely. The lighting's good, but that isn't because.
But it was the level of detail in the rocks that got me. It was like there's so much detail, like all the little cracks and crevices and just it was crazy.
But that's because of both the lighting, right? So they can actually just have all the lighting in there, not because before you'd have to like just make a fake shadow and slap it on. But you can't make all the fine details. So the shadow highlights all the details. And it's the LOD thing. Before, you wouldn't get your devs to make really high-resolution rocks because they'd always be far away and on the ground. It was pointless.
Yeah.
But now you can just make the high-resolution rocks, and if you get close, you can look at it. So it's like the reason she's in a cave with light coming down and rocks everywhere is because to show off those exact two features.
Yeah.
That's very, very clever.
So yeah, we've still got a long way. Well, not really actually that long. If they're coming out this year, the new consoles, we need to start seeing some games and seeing what they've got to give us. But it'll be exciting to see what they do.
I know what they've got to give us: more remastered games.
Yes. The other bit of gaming news was
I was going to go after Noss's great intro there. I was going to go into. Are you doing the same thing? Is it?
I don't know. What's it gonna do?
Tony Hawk?
Oh no,
Tony Hawk.
Well, yeah, we talked about
Tony Hawk remaster's got announced.
Yes.
Tony Hawk 1 and 2.
Skateboarding game. Yes.
I'm so excited.
No longer will I have to play Skate 3 on my Xbox 360.
Those two games hold like they came out when I was 14, I think. So like they hold like a massive part in my childhood and adolescence. I remember going to one of my best friends' 14th birthday, and we were having a sleepover, right, in his garden, right. We were having a camp out, not your ordinary camp out. We're nerds, right? So his dad managed to get an army tent from somebody. So we had a massive military army tent. The sort of like the ones that they use for like dishing out food and stuff, like massive army tent. Not like you would just lie down. So we ran extension cables all the way from his house. We had 2 TVs set up. We had an N64 going, PlayStation going. We had Tony Hawk going all night long. Bit of alcohol involved at 14. Don't worry about it. It's just one of those things. But yeah, it was great.
Yeah,
It was
I feel
great.
like Tony
Hawk's,
Hawk's was in my childhood as well, but it was probably number 3. But
Oh,
that was
I
the
gave
only
up on 3.
that was
I
the
gave
only
up
one
on
I
3.
played. I wasn't really into skateboarding or skateboarding games, but that one just happened to be like it seemed like that was synonymous. Everybody had it, and you had to play it, and you enjoyed it.
That's next on my wanted remasters list, Remo. SSX Tricky. Oh, what a game.
Hey, can we talk about remasters no one asked for, such as Mafia 2? Such
Sure.
an unnecessary remaster. Can we talk about that? Apparently it's pretty bad. Like on the consoles, apparently it's pretty bad. Like frame rate's real bad, and there's all kinds of stuff broken and whatnot. From what I've been hearing from people that have been playing it, I know GTA Man's played it. He's talked a little bit about it, but apparently it's pretty terrible. And Mafia 2, still looks great. Like the regular Mafia 2 still looks great. It was
I've never
kind of
played
unnecessary.
any of the Mafia games, so I'm
Mafia 2 is very good. I would recommend it. You could actually finish it in like 2 streams. I would
Yeah.
highly recommend that you play it. It's really good.
Yeah, I'm
and
tempted
then
to pick up 2. I
and then
played
Mafia
3, and 3 was bad.
3
It's a bad game.
3 is a tale of a game that had so much potential and was really
Yes.
let down by
Yeah.
a development cycle. That's what
I was
happened to that.
really interested in the story, and then the gameplay is just, it's just the same thing over and over again. And I got like 5 missions into it. I was like, nah, not for me, thanks.
Yeah.
Hard
Well,
pass.
Do you know what they did get right with these remasters? It's way better than what Rockstar did with GTA 4 on PC.
Oh, well,
So-
I mean, that's like saying that,
Yeah, but like,
Uh,
but
it's not saying much.
the people that had the old versions can still play the old versions, and all of the music's in those games, they re-licensed it all. Imagine that! Whoa!
They paid money?
They
Wow.
re-licensed all the music instead of just ripping it all out. So not only can you can play the old versions still, but the new versions aren't like completely gimped like GTA 4 is. It's insane.
That's
It's the same company as well. It's Take-Two, like the same publisher.
That's crazy.
And
That's
also, like they've added stuff like Mafia 2. They've like added content, but the content is like cars from Mafia 3 that aren't
that's
even
cool.
made yet. Like,
Oh.
so it's just all kinds of nonsense.
I was going to say that's cool, and then I realized, they said
that
they're
game
set
takes
in
place in the
different
50s, and I'm driving a Vietnam era car. It doesn't make much
Oh.
sense.
Okay. So
but-
you've got your GTA dev, which cocked their remaster up. You've got Mafia, which kind of tried to do the right thing, but have maybe cocked things up a little bit. And then you've got Saints Row 3. Saints Row 3 remaster.
From Mafia, though, I will say that the remaster that did need to be made is Mafia 1. Because the original Mafia is very old, and it's still a very good game, and that one does need to be remastered. So I agree with that one, but Mafia 2 shouldn't have, and they didn't even do anything with Mafia 3, so I just kind of gave you all the DLCs. But yeah, tell me more about the Saints Row, the third remaster.
Yeah,
What's going on there?
Saints Row the Third got a remaster, seemingly out of nowhere, and according to Digital Foundry, it's astonishingly good, like really, really, really good. And that's all I've read on it. The only problem is if you want it on PC, Epic Game Store exclusive, because of course.
That's gonna be a no from me. That's gonna
And it's sort of $40 as well. And
be. That's gonna be a no from me, dog. I ain't paying $40.
you can get
already
the
got it.
original for $6.99 on Steam, and I'm like, no, I'm not gonna. I mean, I've got nothing against Epic Game Store. Don't mind it. Don't care. Don't care if things are exclusive on it. Don't mind. I'm not paying £40 for a game as a remaster of something that I can pay $6.99 for on another platform. It's not happening.
I've been distracted by a cat. I think that's
Sorry.
so cute.
You got a cat now?
I don't. Josh has cat.
Coco.
Did you miss it?
Oh, Oh
missed
yeah,
it.
Yeah, she's gone.
Oh,
Yeah, had
Yeah.
a little cameo. To finish up
Um,
gaming news, Culling 2. Have you heard about Culling 2?
Oh my gosh, what a saga!
yep.
Culling.
Good job, guys.
So
What a
Culling
saga.
1, it was a battle royale game, one of the first battle royale games before the big games came out. People liked it, but then the big games came out and kind of, did it better. So then they released Culling 2, which was an absolute failure. There was like less than 10 people in a match or something, this big 100-player battle royale. So now they've released the Culling Origins or something, whatever it's called, which is like, it's back to the Culling 1, but they're doing it differently and adding more stuff to it or something. But the main reason that we're talking about it is that they're selling it for $6. And this was the initial announcement. You got one free match a day, and every subsequent match that you wanted to play, you had to pay for. And when I say free, I mean you've paid $6 for the game, and then
You're allowed to play it once.
you're
a
allowed
day.
to play it once a day for your $6. And you can buy tokens in certain amounts to be able to play more matches, or you can pay a subscription to.
JP's updated us.
Yeah,
Apparently
I
you
was
get
going to come
10
on to
free
that, but
matches.
you can also pay a subscription for like $5 a month or something to play as many matches as you want.
no.
But now they saw the feedback and the hate amongst it, and the people weren't happy, so they were like, okay, we're sorry, we made a mistake. We'll give you 10 free matches a day instead. It's okay. It fixes
let
everything.
me get this straight. They had player base problems, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
And then they were like, "Oh, do you know what will fix this? Let's charge the people that queue up. That'll
Yeah.
make our queues more full of people." Like, what the hell?
Yeah, when you have battle royale games like Fortnite that are completely free and have infinite more people, why are they stupid?
Like maybe Fortnite could pull that crap because they have the player base, right? But it just doesn't make any
Yeah.
like if you paid for a match, right? Say you're like, oh, you know what, I'll throw you like $5 to play a game or whatever, right? And then nobody joins.
Exactly.
Like,
I've got 5 tokens that I've just bought, and I can't use even one of them because I can't even use the free match because nobody's playing.
yeah, what?
It makes no
And
sense.
imagine you just pay for a match and then you like land somewhere and then just get shotgunned immediately
Yeah.
before you even find a gun. It's like,
Yeah.
well, I just wasted
Battle-
$5 of my
Battle
money.
Royale
Yeah.
experience is so variable that you could be
Exactly.
playing an hour, you could be playing 5 minutes. Like,
Yeah.
oh my god.
That's
Okay.
gambling. Right
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
It's so stupid. But well, there you go. That's gaming now, everybody.
Good job, everyone. There's one more gaming news. We had everybody's favorite key reseller, G2A, getting
Oh yeah.
being made to face the music and cough up some money. Because if nobody knows, a few years ago, quite a lot of indie devs in particular banded together against G2A, the key reseller website. They were adamant that G2A was selling stolen keys on their site. For those that don't know, G2A is like a marketplace like eBay, so people can sell keys on their website basically for games. And G2A flat out denied all accusations, saying that it wasn't a tool, it wasn't a marketplace for illegal keys to be sold and whatnot. And they even said, look, we'll put our money where our mouth is. If any dev can prove that illegal keys have come from our site, we'll give them 10 times the value stolen back.
So,
And
okay,
they've just had to do that.
and just to butt in here
Excellent.
quickly, you know when you're like in school or whatever, right? And like the bully does something stupid and the teacher says, oh, I don't do that. And they said, I didn't do it. Prove it. Right? That's
Yes.
literally what they've
That's
just done.
literally what they were like.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And one developer, the developer of the game Factorio, that's Woob Software, is it? Yeah, Woob Software, WUBE Software, went, right, I'll take you on at that. And they proved conclusively that stolen keys did come from the site to the tune of $40,000. My apologies. $40,000 is having to be paid by G2A. So they've basically been caught out.
And it's interesting how afterwards they were so confident about everything. It's like, if no one's going to be able to prove it, so we're going to say this. And then afterwards, someone did prove it. They were like, and they took advantage of our limited time offer of 10 times as much money. And like, going forward, we will do it, but only on the amount that was lost.
The fact that they put that announcement up on the page just above the announcement that said, we're totally fine. Nothing's the matter.
Yeah.
Proves,
so you can read.
They're not exactly the brightest.
Yeah.
However, there has been a slight update to the story. They've given a statement to Eurogamer. It says, we would be the first to admit that in our formative years as a company, we took too long to recognize that a small number of individuals were abusing our marketplace.
There's a few bad apples.
However, the criticism we received was the wake-up call we needed. And over the last years, we've been totally committed to tracking any incidents of fraud on our site. Today, we use some of the most sophisticated proprietary anti-fraud AI technology of any online marketplace for digital products.
Yeah, right.
Thank you, GTA.
Sure you are.
Still not going to be buying anything from you.
I don't buy anything from them. I'm not going to.
Like, the whole reason they came out and said, prove it, lol, is like their requirements for proving it are flipping insane. Indie devs are like 1 or 2 people. They don't have like a dedicated lawyer, right?
Yeah.
Like the big companies don't care because they just cancel the key and keep going and they just take the charge back. It doesn't matter. But it's the indie devs that it was like actually costing them money. And it's like asking like a team of like 2 game developers to like waste development time proving this is like so stupid.
In order to prove it as well, they had to use an independent adjudicator that met G2A's standards.
Sure, let me open my indie game wallet. Oh wait, it's empty.
After 2 years of going back and forth with the developer Woob and G2A, they still couldn't decide on an independent adjudicator. So G2A just went, we'll just do an internal investigation then. You could have done that at the start, boys. Could have done that at the start.
Can we tell chat how exactly you steal a game key?
Yeah, someone in the chat asked about that.
So from what I understand, I'm Russian. I steal credit card information. I buy keys with that. Then whoever I stole that card from says, oh, hey, some Russian stole my card. Let me charge all that back. But now I still have game keys, and then I sell them. Is that essentially it?
Yeah.
Is it?
And the chargebacks get charged to the
developer.
The developer has to pay the chargeback fees to the credit card companies, so that they end up losing money on those game keys.
But it's worse than that because the person who stole the cards gets away scot-free, right? They've made the sale and got the money. The person who bought the key paid money for a game, and then the developer is trying to like, you either give them the key, even though you didn't make any money from it, or you like revoke the key, and then you have like an angry customer.
Yeah.
Right? And then you have to pay the charge back as well. It was like
it's
actually
a horrible practice.
It was actually like the reason indie developers were really up about it is because it was costing them money. Right, to deal with this.
Yeah, they said we would rather you pirate our games than buy them from G2A.
That was it. Pirating the games cost them nothing, but stealing it from G2A cost them a chargeback, and you didn't get to play it. Right?
Yeah.
It was worse.
So
so
scummy company, don't buy anything on G2A.
Yeah.
Were you you remember, I can't remember, bruv, but like a few years ago, I used to get constantly spammed by G2A for like a streamer partnership thing. Did you get that?
Yeah, there was you could earn gold or something, and then it was ridiculous.
They were like there was constant spam bots in my chat, and they kept emailing me and stuff. It was like,
I know Summit was partnered with him for a while. Is that thing?
PewDiePie used to have G2A links in his videos as well.
Everybody
it was huge. I never went for it. It always seemed a bit shady to me.
I was just pissed off they were spamming me, so I hated them before it was cool.
Like it feels like, especially when it comes to the indie devs, it doesn't matter so much with the big AAA companies who are making so much money in the first place, but you're really hurting the people who are making really the best games these days. If you're smaller games, and they might not cost that much in the first place, you might be saving $5 on a $10 game or something, but you're costing the developer $10 in chargeback fees instead of giving them some money.
Is it okay? Is it okay to use CD keys? Well, they kind of follow the same model, so and they're not as cashed up as G2A. So
there's a bunch of identical ones, like that penguin thing as well, I think.
That was part of their statement on their website. Actually, it's like no when they said with the 10 times offer, they came back and said, well, nature abhors a vacuum. If we go, one of our other competitors will just take up the same mantle.
Yeah,
it's like, well,
it's okay that we're doing the wrong thing just because somebody else will if we don't. So
exactly.
Yeah, so I might as well be the one benefiting.
Yeah.
All right, let's open up the phone bank if anybody does have any questions for later on.
Not a chance.
Jump in the phone bank and you can ask us.
I know there's at least one person that has questions.
Oh, hi, good.
For now, we can quickly do Racing Corner. Vettel leaving Ferrari, and it's all change at all these different teams. Your boy
sounds like a big deal.
Your boy Ricardo is moving and all this kind of stuff. Nice.
Where is he going? Is he just going farther down the ladder in terms of
moving
technology?
up, boy.
Yeah.
Oh, is he moving up?
Yeah.
Moving up.
He definitely took a backward step to go to Renault from Red Bull.
Where's he going?
So where's he going now?
McLaren.
So that's better? McLaren better than...
McLaren not quite on the pace of the top three, the big three, Red Bull, Ferrari, Mercedes, but they're the best of the rest at the minute, and they're trying to go back.
Yeah, so when Ricciardo moved, Renault were like fourth. They were best of the rest. But then they went straight back down, and then McLaren's now best of the rest, and they're looking like they're going to stay there. So,
do you think that Ricciardo can have the necessary talent to do something?
Yeah. Do you know what the best bit is? He's teammates with Lando Norris.
The Twitch sensation.
Yeah. But you got the two memesters on the same team. So
does that mean we might get Danny Rick on Twitch? That'd be good.
Yeah. Maybe Danny Rick on iRacing is what I'm excited for.
Yes.
McLaren are going to be having Mercedes engines as well. That's true, which are better than the Renault engines. So I mean, there's a chance that pairing with McLaren will bring McLaren back up, and that might be.
Are we getting McLaren Mercedes back?
Yep.
Yes. But you missed
still
a step.
My heart. I might start watching again.
You missed the step. You missed Vettel leaves Ferrari. Right?
Basically, because they favour Charles Leclerc at this point, Vettel didn't want to be sharing equal status with Leclerc. He wanted to be team leader, so
But
is Leclerc really, really fast?
Yeah, and young.
Okay.
But Vettel moved out from the top, like the second best team. And then this is the first time in ages that someone's just surprise moved out from a top team. And it's just created a vacuum, and everyone's just gone up one step, right? So Sainz, who was in McLaren, went to Ferrari to replace Vettel, which then let Ricciardo replace Sainz at McLaren. Now everyone's talking about who's going to replace Ricciardo at Renault, and then it's going to keep moving around.
I think we should get Scott Speed back in the
No,
I think that's what we should do.
I think he's fine without.
I made a prediction tweet. Let me find it. I said Sainz goes to Ferrari, Ricciardo goes to McLaren, Bottas goes to Renault, and there's been some rumors that might actually be happening since I made that tweet. And then Ocon, who's been really buddy with Mercedes, he takes Bottas's place in Mercedes, and then Alonso can go to Renault to take Ocon's place.
Oh, and Alonso at Renault too.
Yeah. That would be the dream.
Man, Formula One is such an easy sport to follow. It's really accessible to the general audience.
I've not watched F1 since they moved to Sky, which is NOS. If you don't know, Sky's the
Yeah.
You have to pay for it, basically. I'm not paying for F1. I've never paid for F1 in my life. Not going to start.
Neither have I.
So if there's any streaming platforms out there that stream F1 illegally, in a way that actually takes money away from Sky, I'd be really interested. Just hit me up. If you have like banners saying "Don't use Sky, they're a bunch of cunts," something like that.
I can unironically hit you up. Yes.
Super. Thanks.
So yeah, Renault,
Hello,
interesting.
bruv. Just talking about piracy. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
Yep. Don't worry about it. Didn't say anything rude or anything. Didn't drop the C-bomb at all.
I think somebody just
muted.
banged on his door. I hope he's not
he's
getting
muted.
swatted. That'd be a real shame.
He's muted.
Oh, yeah, I wasn't muted for this. I unmuted myself for the stream, and I forgot to unmute myself for you. Sorry. I'm back. It's all right. Everything Chris has subverted. We're all right.
But yeah, but what's really funny is because all F1's been cancelled for ages. But this is what we call silly season, where like all the drivers start moving around and making new contract deals and stuff, and that normally happens like in the middle of the year. Well, it's happening before the season's even started now.
Yeah, the drivers are all changing teams for 2021, and we haven't even started 2020 yet.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's quite weird.
I was going to say, you mentioned on your stream this morning, bruv. It's like, oh, I've got a key for F1 2020 closed beta. I was like, what happens with that? Everybody turns up to Australia and then the credits roll.
I know. Yeah, that is the game.
You know?
Yeah.
That's pretty funny.
It'll be interesting to see what happens in 2021 with the drivers.
Oh, sorry. Why didn't I remembered another thing. I should have taken better notes. Formula One recently made an announcement, like the head of like the gaming department or whatever. They recently made an announcement that they're interested in investing in a simulator game for F1.
Wow, that'd be real cool.
Okay.
I'll have to try to find the article, but they said like they're going to expand their gaming library, right? Because you know that we were talking about that management game they're making, and they have the console game, which is obviously like the casual arcadey thing. Well, now they're looking into making a sim, or like, you know, maybe they could get in an iRacing like everyone else, which would be cool. But yeah, so that they obviously realize now that they're trying to get all the drivers to play their like arcade game.
Yeah,
right?
it's not
like,
a good idea. Yeah.
Yeah, it isn't suitable. They need a hardcore sim. So
Yeah.
they announced that they're like working on it or something, I think.
Well, that's good.
Did they announce any partners or anything, or just say that they're working on it?
No, I hope it's not Codemasters.
Coming soon.
Yeah.
So.
Oh yeah, that's true. What Matty H said. Codemasters bought Slightly Mad that did Project Cars.
Yeah, a lot of people. Yeah, a lot of people have been saying that. That makes sense. Yeah.
We'll see. They should just get on iRacing seems to be the main one now, so.
If only iRacing looked better.
It'd be so funny if Slightly Mad did get it. You'll get fucking penalised for using any curbs in the game whatsoever.
Yeah.
Great,
Yes.
thanks.
A GTA Racer's worst nightmare.
Speedrun Corner, anything of any note?
Nothing significant, and
No.
I think we've gone on long enough.
Okay.
There was some RNG in Wind Waker, and they made a bot to figure out the RNG for you. It's cool. That's it. Move on.
They made a bot to figure out the RNG for you. Okay.
Yeah. So it's like a battleships game.
Right.
And there's a bunch of squids, and you need to shoot the squids, but it's like completely random where the squids are, and you know it's part of the speedrun. You need to win it as quick as possible.
Yeah.
You need to win it with the least shots to get an item for the speedrun. It was terrible, pure RNG.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they figured out how the RNG work, and there's like only 5 billion different outcomes, and they're in sequence. This is the important part. So they made a bot. So you intentionally lose the first board, and then you tell it where the squids were, and then it gives you a heat map of where the next squid is likely to be, and then it figures out the exact board you want. And by the third board, it knows exactly where the squids are perfectly, and it's amazing.
Wow, that's pretty clever, actually.
Yeah.
Just
And
in the
it
name of
takes
speedrunning.
That is wild.
That's really good.
Does that count as an outside tool, though?
Yeah, that's the problem. Is like, is this cheating?
Oh, is that a debate? Is that a debate?
Who cares? It makes the run fun. Who gives a shit?
Yeah, it makes it run not be bothered about RNG. Oh.
Yeah.
I've got a quick bit of gaming news that I forgot about. That's super quick. The Heat Seeker mode is back in Rocket League for 4 days. Go play it. It's really fun. It's crazy. If nobody's played it, It's great. You hit the ball and it automatically tracks towards the goal.
Oh wow!
and gets
Okay, that sounds like my
and
kind of
gets-
game mode.
and gets progressively faster each time that
Okay.
it gets passed from team to team. It's so fun, hilarious. You're allowed 100% boost all the time, so everybody I like going and gooning the other team so that they can't save the ball. It's hilarious. They get so annoyed, and I laugh so much. It's the most fun game mode. Everybody go and play it so they make it a permanent thing. It's great.
That's cool.
That's all.
Last episode follow up. I can't actually, apart from the fact that Nos's clip got more views than the episode itself.
Are we not doing community questions? No.
That's after follow up.
No, it's not.
It is on the document.
Not on any previous episode we've done, though.
I'm pretty sure it is.
Well, do you want to go back and look at all the timestamps that I have right in front of me right now?
Would you like to take a look at all this proof that I have here?
I can
I'm
share my
genuinely
screen on Discord if you like.
genuinely shocked by this. I'm gonna look back at last month's episode.
All right, you do that.
Just why can't you trust him?
Because I'm curious. I want to know. Like I could have sworn that it wasn't.
If
That
Hammer
wasn't
says
the
it
case.
is, then it is. That's just that's. I mean, it's like.
Oh, I keep
Just
getting the
saying.
highlight.
Just saying. All right, we're doing community questions now.
Yes,
are
we're doing
All
community
So
questions.
why is it the wrong way in the
No way! Just pull it.
How is the document in the wrong direction? Like, who changed it? I'm gonna go back on the history and find out who changed the order. My bad.
I've not touched the document
No
in
way!
months, so my guess is you, Adam.
Probably,
Anyway.
but I want to find out if it was me so that there we go. It was only last month that we had previous episode follow-up afterwards. The community questions were after the previous episode follow-up every podcast before then. I'm looking at them all right now.
Do you want me to go back and do you want me to show you the timestamps?
No,
right
we
now?
don't want to
I
do
can-
this.
I can
please,
show you the
Mom,
timestamps
Dad, don't
right now.
fight, please.
I'm so
In
confused.
fact, I can't because I'm not allowed to screen share in this.
I'm
chat.
so confused.
Please
But
don't
yeah,
fight. Please don't.
Oh no, you're right. You're right. I've made a mistake.
Either get a divorce or don't.
I was reading it wrong. I fully concede. I was reading it wrong. I may have had some drink. Don't worry about it. I took that break really seriously where you guys were talking about Detroit. So yeah, it's my bad.
Vindication.
My bad. Anyway, on you go.
I'm not
with
crazy.
the previous episode follow up.
Previous episode follow-up. I can't even remember what the comment was from last week.
Why are we fighting?
The comment was power cut because Nos had a power cut.
Oh yeah, that was hilarious. That was so good. The fact that it froze on your screen like perfectly and just stayed there at the moment the power cut happened. That was great.
So we had a total of 31 comments.
How many said power
How
cut?
many said power cut?
7.
22.
Oh, I was going to go
Alright.
15, so that's like right bang in the middle.
All right. So you've all submitted your guesses.
Yeah.
Josh, congratulations. The correct answer was 21.
Oh, very
close.
close.
Sam.
So close. Well done. Yeah, well done.
That's not very many.
Rules.
You know, we had that one bump of people commenting when I said, "All right, we'll just get rid of the last episode follow up because nobody ever bothers in the first place." And here we are, a podcast afterwards. I said we'd keep it, and then nobody continues to bother.
Yeah.
So,
Right.
community questions.
Community questions now, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Actually,
All right. We have one question, and it's from Mr. Craig Cooper Towers.
Hey, thank you for choosing the Choking Hazard podcast. Can I start you off with a large 3-topping for $7.99 carry out? Wait a minute. Never mind. Hold on. Hold on. Question? Who? For?
That went on way too long.
Hello. I have two questions. One
Okay.
for Nos and one for all of you.
What? Whoa! What? A
I
question?
mean, there's only one person, so I guess he's allowed to have multiple questions.
During this whole situation that the world's in at the moment, I've been going back on all the old podcasts, starting way back on episode 1 of Choking Hazard.
Thank
Why?
you for your continued support of
Yeah.
our magnificent podcast.
And
Yeah.
I have been listening to it on Spotify, the best of all the platforms.
There you go.
And my
There you go.
questions are, Nos, what happened to the celebration hat?
The hat?
Yeah.
It's right.
It's always there in the background. He just doesn't wear it.
That's right here. Howdy.
You weren't wearing it on the 3-year
It was
podcast.
back there. Well, I mean, it was right there.
And also, what is everyone's biggest choke to date?
That was it for me. I was so hyped for a real question.
I had one for RDT as well, but he's not here. So
There's
I think Query's coming from is you did say it was for special occasions, and it was a 3-year
was.
anniversary. So
It wasn't special enough.
It wasn't special enough. Okay.
wow, he doesn't believe in the
Maybe for
podcast.
5 years. Maybe for 5 years. I'll wear it for the whole show.
Biggest choke to date in I don't know. I mean, there's been so many. How could I pick one?
Oh man, this is gonna take ages.
Yeah, and I'm
here,
this
I'll
show.
answer one.
This show. Matty. Oh, that's good.
Harsh,
This show's a little bit harsh. I think.
savage, ban him.
Wow. Okay, so my two biggest chokes. All right, so
Two? What? Okay.
I got two. Yeah, I got two. So one is back in February. I guess it was 2019. Yeah, it's 2019. Whenever I tried to get partner, and I played GTA 5 for a month straight, and I got the viewership I needed. And then I decided, hey, I did it. I'm going to go play San Andreas and get significantly less viewership. I think that's what led to me not getting partner, probably. So that's a pretty big choke. I should have just kept, getting borderline suicidal, and playing GTA 5 racing for another 30 days, and maybe things would be different. I'd be sitting here as a Twitch partner. And second is probably when I tried to do. No one watched this, which is good. But I tried to do a really well-planned playthrough of the original Red Dead Redemption before Red Dead Redemption 2 came out, and I just completely destroyed it. I just messed up so many times in the very beginning of the game and completely destroyed my will to play it. So those are my two chokes. And if you count, I locked up the brakes in the rain in the Miata and almost slid into a stop sign. I don't know if that counts. That was ages ago, though. That was ages ago.
I have one.
Go on.
Okay. It took me a while to think of it, and it probably isn't, but it's the best story one, I guess. Back when I first started speedrunning San Andreas in 2014, I want to say, somewhere around there. I was on a run, and I'd got to the end of the game, so I was doing the mission called A Home in the Hills, which is the one where you go from Los Venturas, you go back to Los Santos, and the end of the game starts, right? And I was on a really good run and stuff, and blah blah blah. As I'm doing the mission, the mission's all about there's a mansion with a bunch of drug dealers or whatever, and you need to go through and kill everyone, and then go out the end and kill a guy, whatever. In the speed run, and even back then, we were doing this thing. Actually, maybe we weren't. No, we weren't doing it at that point. Sorry, yeah, back up. Yeah, so in the speed run, obviously, you want to just run through it. Or we used to just run through it as quick as possible, but you can't sprint. You can't sprint indoors in that interior. You didn't. That's what I'm saying. We didn't slide back then. Not in 2014.
Oh wow, that's ages ago.
Yeah, well, we just so we have a lot of minigun ammo, thankfully, because we did stuff before. And no, we have a bit of minigun ammo. Anyway, whatever. I keep getting sidetracked. You have to go in and you have to waddle slowly through this building, and if you just sit there and shoot everyone, it's not too hard and stuff. But obviously, speedruns, right? You want to skip as much as possible, so you just try to go past as many people as possible. Well, what kept happening was that I would just die on this mission sometimes. Like sometimes I could just walk through the whole thing perfectly fine, and I would never take any damage. And then other times I would do it, and I would just get immediately obliterated. Like I wouldn't even get halfway through, and the guys would just kill me. It was just like completely random. But that was like random and stuff. And it was like, after I try a second time and get it. This run, it took me literally half an hour to get past this one mission. I kept choking real hard on this one mission, and as time goes on, chats there and stuff. And the first time they're like, "Oh no, you got unlucky. That's unfortunate," or whatever. Yeah, you see, Taduva is alluding to the thing I'm about to say. That like after like a few, like the third or fourth try, chat's starting to get like, hey Josh, why don't you just do this or do that, right? Like, oh, you're so bad, Josh, just do this thing. So chat was just like, oh Josh, just take it slow, just do the mission slowly, right? Like stop trying to speedrun it, just go through it slowly. The problem, like I didn't realize this at the time, but the problem with doing things slowly is if you stand there and like shoot every guy, you take more damage having a gunfight with someone than you do just running past them, right? So I would start doing it too slow, and then I would die, and then I tried doing it too fast and still die and crap like that. But
my gosh.
But chat was
due
like,
to the... Go ahead, sorry.
yeah, the chat was just basically like full backseat the whole thing, and I'm unbelievably tilted at this point, right? I was on like a good run, and I lost half an hour. Yeah. For like, I would have been like 5 minutes, maybe 10 minutes ahead, for example. Losing like a minute in that run is really bad. I lost half an hour, is insane.
Wow.
That was a really big joke. Later on, we found out why sometimes you just get absolutely murdered.
Is it the AI accuracy with the bikes? That's what I was going to ask.
There's a glitch in the game. If you take a car, the way the accuracy works, this is taking too long. The way the accuracy works is there's a percentage chance for people to hit you. There's just a flat percentage. It doesn't matter on like physics. They don't actually aim at you or anything. Everyone just has like a percentage chance to kill you or hit you with every bullet. But when you get into a car or a boat or a plane, you're like a way bigger object, right? So they should have more percentage chance to hit you. So they like up the percentage. The problem is when they set a custom accuracy in missions, when you get into a vehicle, it overwrites it, makes it really high. And then when you get out, it doesn't set it back to the custom value.
Okay.
So what was happening is you were supposed to skydive onto the mansion. But I'm like trying to speedrun it, so I just skydive to the ground as quick as possible, steal the first vehicle I find, and drive there. But there's one type of vehicle, it doesn't. If you get a bike, it doesn't do that glitch. It doesn't affect it. So what was happening is sometimes I'd get a bike, and sometimes I'd get a car. If I took a car, dead. If I took a bike, I did it. So that was only years later we discovered that. But at the time, it was like I just couldn't understand how sometimes I would just die, and sometimes I didn't. Yeah,
ouch.
Yeah. The real choke was the idea of taking a car to be faster. So that was my long story.
One hell of a capitulation.
Yeah.
I think mine is probably, I've had some pretty bad ones over the years in the MCEC in particular. I think the one that hurts the most is probably season 4. I think it was round 4 off-roads. I was starting on... It was in the Dubster 6x6, starting on pole position. I had the pace to win fairly substantially, and on the first lap or the second lap or whatever it was, I botched it, hit a barrier, went to the back, ended up finishing 3rd overall in the race, but I ended up making so many mistakes, and it all came from that first choke where I was trying to get the pace back and recover the situation because I knew I'd started on pole and I had the chance to win. And then I made more mistakes, and I still had a chance to win even after that first mistake if I'd just calmed down and not gotten too worried about it. But then I was conscious of the fact that I'd made the mistake and I had to push more, and then I made more mistakes. And in the end, if I'd done what I probably should have done in winning from pole position, I probably would have won the championship that year. But there was many other chokes during that season that caused me not to, but that was the one that was probably the worst, I think.
Yeah, it's like you make a mistake and then you like overdrive to try to make up for the mistake,
exactly.
right? Yeah.
Yeah, that was the worst.
Hmm.
All right.
Hammer.
Does Hammer have any chokes? I don't know. Hammer might not even be here. Oh, there.
I mean,
No. I'm here. I mean, as we all know, I don't make any mistakes, as this podcast can attest to.
Of course, absolutely.
I know, as this last few minutes can attest to, I don't make any mistakes. I mean, chokes in life. I once went for a job promotion, not fully understanding the job that I was actually going for, and tried to bullshit my way through an interview, and it didn't really go too well, surprisingly. So there was that. That was a big joke. That was very embarrassing. But yeah, actually, the job that I've got now. Funnily enough, I've got a funny story about that. I went for the interview and it was a massive, what they call assessment center for this interview. So I had to go to a different office for the interview, which was at the other end of the country. And it was throughout a whole day, and we got tested on various different aspects of what we were going to do in the job. And one of the tests that we had to do was we had to write a whole presentation and present it within about an hour, I think. So I got given the course material, wrote my presentation, and it was a guy that I had worked with for years that was assessing me on this part, and I did my presentation. I was really confident. I absolutely love presenting, got no problem with it whatsoever. Did my presentation like that, and then I got out of it and I went, I think I presented the wrong thing. I think I got completely the wrong idea of the course material. And my mate came out of the interview room and he was just like, "Yep, that was terrible." Yeah.
You gave a great presentation anyway. With confidence about the wrong thing.
Anyway, yeah, I got the job anyway. So
at least it was a good ending.
I was like, it was so bad because I was clearly super excited, and he kept guiding me with questions as well. He was like, "Yeah, but what if you thought about it this way?" I was just like, "Yeah, but what I'm trying to do is this," like that. And he's just like, "Yeah, but if you thought about it the other way," and I just wasn't taking the hint at all. I was too excited about what I was presenting. So yeah.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Thank you, Cooper Towers, for the questions.
Anytime, guys.
And now we can move on to Choke of the Week. That's I haven't looked at any of these. I haven't watched any in advance.
I haven't either.
All right, well, let's
you
load
made
them
the
up.
playlist, though.
Yeah, we got the playlist.
So do you know what? You say we're running long and whatnot. We're 2 weeks behind schedule on last week's. So 2 weeks behind schedule. 3 minutes behind schedule. I don't know what I'm talking about. So
yeah. It's all good. It's all good.
It's all good. Yeah. And
yeah.
There's always the potential that any conversation can take 45 minutes. So we gotta just make sure that things don't go for 4-hour-long podcasts, I guess. Although I'm sure some people wouldn't mind that.
Well, I mean, throw some mid-roll ads in there. Do your principles apply to the Choking Hazard channel? We need some mid-roll ads.
I mean, I haven't put any mid-roll ads on the channel, but I guess I'd probably end up being overruled if it was a.
You remember?
This choke we should play with volume if you've got it. It's not got any voice. It's just because it's Rally. You hear the co-driver, and it's really important for the clip.
Okay.
Even though it's subtitled, so.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna start the chokes now.
Here we are. 30. All right.
He's almost done on the rally.
Excellent game.
Into 5 left. 80. Into 6 right. Into 5 left long.
He got away with that.
Did a little roll.
Right rear punch.
Oh no.
50.
Oh, the finish line is right there. No way.
50 after finish.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh wow.
Oh
wow, that's a complete destruction too. That's not even like
terminal damage right at the end.
Oh, that's heartbreaking.
Damn.
38 minutes.
Oh jeez.
Oh God.
Oh wow! Wait, he was on that for 38 minutes.
That part of the rally was 7 minutes.
Oh,
but
okay.
The whole,
Oh, okay.
the whole stage was
Okay.
38.
Ouch, that was a bad one.
Ooh.
Yeah. All right, let's move on. I'll move on to the.
Oh wait, you haven't. Been
Yeah,
done yet?
I paused it. Sorry, I paused it. Just.
Oh,
to...
you gotta tell us, bro.
Sorry.
You gotta tell us.
Sorry. All right, I'm starting the second clip now.
Okay, we're playing T-Lad, GTA 4. Excellent game, excellent DLC, questionable motorcycle handling.
Strong disagree with everything you just said.
Oh, really?
Oh,
Yeah.
there
Okay.
he goes. Foot on his head. Is he gonna?
Rip.
Is he gonna get back? Oh, there they go.
Oh no.
There they go.
Oh, they're all going past him.
I like this.
He's on the last lap as well. He's on the last lap.
Oh, he was so close to the. Is that the? Oh no, where's the finish? Oh yeah, he was so close to the
next
finish.
one.
Yeah, the finish is way
You
up there.
lose after
Oh.
falling on his head.
Oh, that's heartbreaking.
He has to do it all again.
Not a
Crappy
GTA
bike.
4 fan, Josh? That's heartbreaking.
No. GTA 4, good. Ballad of Gay Tony, great. That, terrible.
You didn't like T-Lad? Is it just because you hated the motorcycles, or?
Pretty much.
Anyway, we're in
okay,
the
that's
RC
fair.
Bandito. We're very close to the finish. About to. Oh, straight into the wall. Okay,
Oh.
that's a good one.
Time trial.
An RC Bandito time trial. Turns the final corner, about to make himself 100k. Smack into the barrier.
Since when were there RC cars in GTA?
Yeah, when was
A
the
while
RC
now.
Bandito released? I feel like it was quite a while ago.
With the Arena War DLC.
Yeah.
We're living in strange times, Josh.
Yeah.
Living
Yeah.
in strange times.
So those were 3 good jokes. The links for all of them are in the.
So now I have a
The
question.
link for the poll is in the chat, I should say.
What stage of the rally was this? Was the first clip? Was this like the
Well-
final stage? Do we know?
Couldn't tell you. The person that made the joke is in chat right now, but I don't really want to reveal it just in case.
Oh yeah,
everybody-
no.
Yeah, I mean it's too late because I've already shown the final screen of that video, so that has the leaderboard with his name on it.
Ah, okay.
The link is in the chat if anyone wants to vote. If you're here, get your votes in. We got 160 of you watching live. Get your votes
Yeah,
in.
so I
Which
better
was the
see
best joke?
168 votes. All right.
Which
That's how
That's
many votes I want to
ambitious.
see. Just open the link. It's so easy.
gonna
It
be-
takes
it's
3
I think we'll be
Your
lucky
time.
to get 68.
Voter apathy is bad. All right.
It's gonna be a hard sell. We've got 51 voted
Yeah.
so far. So.
Come on.
There's always 100 people watching who don't vote.
It's disgusting. You disgust me. If you do not vote, you disgust me, and you do not deserve this shit.
All right.
This is all we've asked for you.
For all-
It's
for all
all
the-
we've asked of you. I'm busy. All right, this is all I've asked of you. Is
He
to just
changed his
vote.
shifts for this at work.
64
Just vote. It's
64
so
votes.
simple.
Are we making a political statement here? Or?
Yes, I'm tired of voter apathy. Go out and vote. If you can't
Oh,
vote
people
in
are-
this
people are
simple
getting-
straw poll,
Error messages on the poll apparently.
Oh, okay.
I got a bit of lag
I'm
when I
so
was
tired of
voting, so-
gerrymandering, trying to stop our voice. They're rezoning the links.
Rezoning the links.
They're putting all the people who like the GTA 5 clips into one zone. They're drawing the lines incorrectly. All right? It's not fair.
Oh man.
So I mean, I don't think it really matters at this stage. We've got a clear winner, and your votes aren't going to make any difference. So do you want to just
Oh, you can't say that out loud.
You can't say that when we're trying to get people to vote.
If I could bring
No,
myself
I
to
meant
go vote in
your
Alabama,
votes.
you can bring yourself to vote in the straw poll, even if you don't vote for the landslide victor.
I mean, we've not had any for ages, so I mean, I think we're done.
My favorite was choke 1, the rally choke. I mean, even if it was as is said in the chat now, it was the second stage of the event. It was still 8 minutes worth of rallying that he was about to
Yeah,
finish, and
Yeah,
right before the
still
line.
bad because it ruins his car for the next set.
Oh God,
Yeah,
okay, yeah, I didn't
yeah.
even think about that.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I wanted to know if he like did this at the very end and it only, added an X amount of time, or if he did it like stage 2 and now
I
it's
see what
partially
he's
destroyed
saying.
for 4
So
more stages.
he said it in the
They're
chat
That's
both bad.
because he DNF'd that stage that added 30 minutes to his overall time
Boom.
just from that one DNF from being so. Okay, yeah, definitely choke 1 then.
Just get out and push the car. You can get it across that line.
What are you guys saying? Choke 1 as well?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. There's no question. And if choke 1 does not win,
Yeah, I picked choke number 1 as well, but I really liked choke number 3.
Yeah, 3 was good
It's gonna
from
be
a
choke
from a
number
funny
3,
moment
isn't
of
it?
turning around the corner and
So-
just stop dead.
In third place with 11% of the votes was choke number 2. That
Yeah,
was Matty
okay.
H when he was pole climbing in GTA 4 with his motorcycle, if you remember.
Okay, the hope is still there.
First place with 73% of the vote. Choke number 1.
Oh, thank
Yeah.
God.
Good
Okay,
job.
Good.
Good job.
Hey,
Rally
Faith
Raid.
restored.
That was Gil Viper, our very own mod. Gil Viper.
That
Thank
was
you,
the
Gil
best
Viper.
joke.
And
for
remember
that
to
joke.
mention what they're in the running for.
Yep, you could be in the running for Choke of the Year.
Yeah.
And 25 monetary values worth of gaming vouchers.
5 shekels.
Yeah. Submit
Yeah.
your chokes. You can win money.
Yes.
But
Get them.
thank you, Choke number 3. Choke number 3, the RC time trial that was submitted by R2XTJ, and it was 15% of the votes. So
Yeah. That was a
fun.
good one because it was just so stop dead around the corner. But yeah, choke 1 was the best choke.
it's a nightmare because it's such a blind corner as well. It was always
Yeah.
going to
Yeah.
happen.
It was really
And
bad
of course,
track.
if you want to if you've previously submitted chokes over the last 3 years and they've never made it into the final 3, you're welcome to resubmit. On
Yes.
Yeah, not gonna lie, the choking well's running pretty dry these days.
Yeah.
That was
The
the
li-
best 3 out of 5 submitted. So
Okay. Well, you've got a month to do it these days. Get them in, and the links for doing that are in the description of the YouTube videos, the show notes on the audio version. If you get some chokes, send them in. All right, that's
Yes.
us done for another month. Again, without
Cool.
RDT, we didn't even get RDT at the end this time.
Oh.
Heartbreaking.
You look very disturbed by it.
I miss him.
Yeah.
He's really the only reason I'm ever here. I mean,
I've actually got a gift for RDT from a fan that I need to get his Nintendo Switch code for, his friend code on Nintendo
Oh, yeah?
Switch. So, yeah, a fan of the podcast has sent in a gift for him on Animal Crossing that I need to get to him.
I thought you were
Wow.
going to say you need his address. Like, send him, like,
Yeah, I mean, RDT popular. I haven't had a gift from a podcast fan on Animal Crossing.
You've had gifts from me.
Are you a fan
Yeah,
of the
literally.
podcast?
You came to my island and I gave you gold bars.
Yeah, but that was that was just part of the podcast. That wasn't like an
What a
extent.
prick! I'm not giving you anything else ever again.
you should have given it to me. I would have really appreciated it, honestly.
Well, if you'd turned up, you would have fucking got it.
How about you're making real gold bars, okay?
If anybody didn't watch the game night, it is up on YouTube. The 3 of us played Animal Crossing. RDT and Nos went there, but it was fun. We'll revisit that, and we'll have the game night again on something different next month.
I appreciated it, Hammer.
What game are
Good,
we
thank
going
you,
to
Josh.
you
Thank
appreciated
Josh.
it
You're now
until
my
you-
favourite host.
You appreciated it until you realised that it wasn't enough, and you went back and stole his plant.
Yeah.
Blank to
good
blanks, you're
times.
very welcome, by the way.
Are we,
for the gift sub.
Are we thinking about what the game thing you were doing next time?
We should
We
after
should,
this.
yeah.
Think about the game.
What's going to be the word for the that nobody's going to comment on the YouTube video? Game nights. No.
Mixer.
Mixer, okay. Mixer.
Mixer, okay.
Yeah, okay. We'll have Mixer. Mixer is the word of the day. Add Mixer to your comment in some way. Make it inventive if you want. It doesn't have to be about the platform. It can be about an actual mixer.
Yeah,
of
there's
some
an
description.
appliance
Yeah.
called a mixer.
Right. Thank you guys for watching. Do you want to say goodbye, guys? No, you don't.
Yeah.
Nelson's just
we're
shaking
doing
his
that
head.
thing. Goodbye, guys.
Bye.
Thanks for watching, everybody. Catch you later. Bye bye.